What's going on, everybody? How you feeling? How you living? You already know who it is. It's your boy Jay, aka Big Daddy Beard, aka your favorite gamer's favorite gamer. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of my podcast, The Debate Table. Now, for those that are new to this is a segment on my channel where we talk about all different types of fun, friendly topics that give you guys the opportunity to not only tune in, but also let your voice be heard. Join in with the debate, whether you agree, disagree, whether you're neutral, whichever. We do these fun, friendly debates to have fun, to enjoy each other's company, and to learn as much as possible and get everybody's insight and input on whatever the topic is, as well as everybody's opinion. I want to welcome you guys to episode 28. I got two more that I'm going to be doing, and then after that, I'm going to transition everything over to the next Battle of the Beats installment on the debate table, which will be the tag team tournament too. So be on the lookout for that. Oh yeah. Been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. It's definitely coming. So be on the lookout for that. Coming later this year. So definitely be ready for it. But yeah, we're going to get into tonight's episode. But before we do, it's kind of funny with this episode because if you guys don't know, for everybody that's, a part of the YouTube world, even if you're not, there's an amazing couple by the name of Meet and I on YouTube. Every year they have what's called the Meet and I Awards. It's basically a ceremony to give recognition and acknowledgement to all different types of YouTube content creators from all around. They do it once a year. It's a very dope segment, very dope ceremony. I've been nominated 3 years in a row now. And actually, last year, just won my award for most honorary award. So this is the first one. And the one that just passed this past Saturday. My apologies. I actually just got nominated and I won for Best Gaming Channel. So I want to thank you guys for the love and support and helping me get that. I couldn't have done it without you. So again, round of applause to all of you guys for making that happen. Thank you. Like I said, the love and the support has been truly genuine. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to win it. But again, you guys made that happen. So I truly, truly appreciate it. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy to win an award last night for Best Gamer and do an episode that's actually dedicated to gaming. So what a coincidence. But yeah, shout out to me and shout out to everybody that casted their votes for me all 3 years. Truly appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight with this one. I've been wanting to do this episode for quite some time now. So welcome in. Everybody get comfortable, relax, and let's have some fun with this one. So tonight's episode is going to revolve around the world of retro gaming. Now, if you are a fan of old school retro video games like me, you guys remember all the classics. You guys remember all of the different games that were on all these amazing consoles that you might have had way back in the day, that you probably still collect now, that you probably, even are looking to just go back in time and just purchase them. So whether it's past, present, if you're a fan like me, you guys enjoy them. You guys know what they're all about. So whenever it comes to retro games, I like to call it F and F. It's fun, but it's frustrating because you guys know how it is playing certain games. You had difficulty with it when you were younger. Of course, you kind of go back down memory lane as you get older and play them. And it's nothing like the nostalgia, but of course, it can be frustrating. And believe me, I've had my days of extreme rage, but like I said, it's still just enjoyable to go down memory lane and play these classics that I grew up enjoying and acknowledging as a kid. So that's what this episode is about. But yeah, before we get into it, I want to see what everybody's talking about. Welcome in. Pull up a chair to the table. The table's pretty big. Plenty of room for everybody coming in. Who we got up in the building? All right. Everybody saying what's up. And again, the link is pinned if anybody wants to come up and join the panel. Again, if you do so, just make sure that you guys don't have any like crazy sounds or audio issues in the background and whatnot. Again, it is optional if you choose to come up, or if you want to stay within the live chat, perfectly fine. If you do choose to come up, you can choose to be on or off the camera, whichever one. Again, I don't force or pressure anybody to do anything against their will, but whatever you guys want to do is up to you. But if you do want to come up, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. Just click it in. I'll see you backstage and I'll bring you on up. But if you want to rock out from the live chat, you can definitely do that. All right, let me just see what everybody's talking about. Evening Meet award-winning host. Thank you. Appreciate that, Gary. What up, Nine? Thank y'all. Thank you. Appreciate that, Warriors. Thank you, Enforcer Jake. Thank y'all for the shout outs. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. We definitely gonna have some fun with this one for sure. That game makes me angry. Hey, MG, I know. I've been there. You've seen all the retro games that I played all throughout my channel, so trust me. There's hard and there's NES hard. You play Bingo Plus. I don't know if Bingo is like a retro game or whatnot. Maybe it is. I don't know. There's so many retro games. It's insane. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to ask you guys some questions, so definitely take your time with each one. I'll have one last question that circulates around what I like to call the Mount Rushmore. And what it is basically like your top four. And then you get the option to have an honorable mention, which serves as a fifth one. So basically it's like a top five, but you have to have four solidified ones. Like, again, so when you think of the Mount Rushmore, think of the, monument that consists of the four popular presidents. So that's what it is. And then you get that plus one that gives you the vibe of a top five. So yeah, definitely take your time with that one. But yeah, I want to get into the questions. But before I do, I'm going to actually read off a list of all different types of retro video game consoles from way back in the day. Let me know if there's any that you hear within this list that you guys remember or that you guys have either had back in the day. So yeah, we're going to get into it. So here's the crazy thing, and this is actually a true fact. Do you know that there's over 1,000 plus retro video game consoles worldwide? That's crazy. Over 1,000. I didn't even think it was that many until I actually started to do my research. And I was like, damn, that's a lot. That's just amazing. I mean, and, here in the US, Japan, like, I don't know if it's divided up like 500 each, but it's just insane to know that there's that many consoles. And, some are still around. Some have been discontinued. Some are starting to kind of resurrect back through other consoles that are popular right now, like a lot of the next gen stuff. But to just know that there's that many is just absolutely crazy. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, welcome in everybody. Appreciate you guys coming through. Salute. You think when you get older, it will be easy, but that was a lie. MG, you are not lying about that, because I used to think the same thing as I got older. I'm like, yeah, going back playing these games, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a breeze. And then it's like, oh wait, no, it's still difficult as it was then as it is now. So definitely, I'll go back and play the games and be like, how did I play these as a kid? That's where the whole concept of fun and frustrating comes from. Whenever you think of retro, you're gonna always think of that. It's fun, but it is frustrating. But we're still drawn to it. Why is that? I mean, is it just that enjoyable? You know, we know we're ready to rage, we're ready to toss controllers, but we can't escape it. I think it's just the nostalgia of how much fun it really is. If I had the money, I collect them all. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too. A lot of these consoles, some are cheap, but you know, a lot of people are starting to sell them. So of course, like the value goes up a little bit. But there are some that you can still find, you know, online or whatnot. I just miss the days of, you know, the stores going to the actual, you know, video game spots or places that, you know, sold the video game consoles and being able to get them right then and there. Even like, you know, some of like the dollar stores and stuff, they're starting to sell those emulator consoles, which is really dope. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy to really find too many of them in the stores. Everything's kind of mainly going online and digital. But you know, if there are underground spots that you can get them at, I definitely recommend grabbing them and just playing for old time's sake. But I love that these new gen consoles are starting to kind of formulate emulators of these old school games from the consoles way back in the day. So that's really, really dope. All right, let me see. So Blaze said trivia. First gaming console. I thought it was Pong, but I was wrong. Hey, that rhymes. Do you know what it was? 1972. Hmm. I don't know. But I'm going to read off this list. So as I'm reading this list, let me know if the answer is within all of these consoles. So yeah, before I get these questions going, let me go ahead and read them off. All right, so we got Fairchild Channel, RCA Studio, Bally Astro Code, Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, XEGS, Flashback, Champion 2711, Intercom, VC 4000, Palladium Telecassetting, Magnavox Odyssey 2, Intellivision, VTech Create Vision, Arcadia 2001, SHG Black Point, ColecoVision, Vectrex, Compact Vision TV Boy, VideoPack G7400, My Vision, Ryuta Jr., Sega SG1000, PV1000, Epoch Super Cassette Vision, VTech Socrates, Amstrad GX4000, Zemix, Video Art, Sega Mark III, Action Max, Viewmaster, Video Challenger, Terabico, Neo Geo CD and AES, Sega Pico, 3DO, Pioneer Laser Active, Memorex VIS, Sega CD, CD1, Commodore CD-TV, and Commodore 64, TurboGrafx, PC Engine 2, Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super ACAN, Statellaview, and Sega Genesis. Now, that's a pretty lengthy list. Any of those do you remember? For everybody that's in here, I'll be honest, out of all of those, there's only 13 that I actually remember from that list. The rest of these, I've never heard of. So that's a pretty hefty list. There was actually more, but I'm like, well, I'm not about to sit here and try to write all of these. But yeah, so out of that whole list, I didn't count how many there were, but yeah, there's about 13 that I know. So how many from that list do you guys know and remember? Let me see what everybody's saying. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Scroll back up. All right. I was like, my brain matured, so I can do this, and then I proceed to die in the game 60 times. I don't think I've ever counted how many times I've died in the game. And I see a lot of gamers that do that too. It's actually pretty dope that you guys can record how many times you died in video games, especially the retro ones. I don't think I've ever counted because I'm just too frustrated at that point. Like, that's, man, like, God bless you to be able to do that, because there's no way I'm counting how many times. I mean, I could just take a guess that I'm probably at my 30th death, but I don't think I could ever like sit there and mentally record like how many times I died. But I see a lot of gamers do it. That's very dope. War said, I wish KB Toys was still open so I could buy games again. I know, right? All right. Gary said, Magan. Magan. I think I saw that on the expanded list. But so most of these that I just read off on this list are actually falling under the 8-bit and the 16-bit. So shortly after 16-bit, when it started transitioning over to 24, that's when it started kind of to step out of retro, and it got more into like, three-dimensional style, like PlayStation, what's the other one? Sega Saturn, consoles like that. So I more so wanted to focus on like the old school ones, the ones from like way, way back, back when we had the black and white TV, with Technicolor, those. Welcome in, welcome in. For those coming in, we were talking about retro video game consoles. Right, Blaze said the Magnavox Odyssey was the first commercial home video game console released in the U.S. in September 1972. The console was designed by Ralph H. Baer, a German-American engineer. Wow. Wow. That is insane. All right, Gary said he remembers the Odyssey. Okay. Odyssey is the OG. Yeah, it definitely was. Again, the only ones I remember are the Ataris, because that was actually the first console I had. The Magnavox Odyssey, ColecoVision, Sega Genesis, of course, Nintendo and Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx, Sega CD, 3DO, Memorex VIS, Pioneer Laser Active, Neo Geo, which is one of my all-time favorites, and Viewmaster. Those are the only ones I remember from that whole entire list. War said, only reason I know about these consoles was watching Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah. Shout out to him. I definitely learned a lot from watching him. Super Nintendo was my childhood. Absolutely. I only knew one person who had a Sega Genesis and CD. Who was that, War? Yeah, again, everybody, welcome in. We are talking about retro video game consoles. I believe that I had an Atari 2600, Commodore 64. I have plug and play emulators for those now, but I was never a huge gamer. My brother was. He beat like every game he played. He was in Nintendo championships in the 80s. Nice. That's what's up, man. Shout out to your brother, man. Odyssey was only at the malls at a point in time. I do remember that. I definitely remember that. Trivia 2, best-selling console of all time. That's a good one. I want to say Nintendo, but could be wrong though. But definitely let us know an answer. So you know about Nintendo 2, Gary? Okay. My cousin had it, so that's how I knew about Sonic. Okay. Brazilian Dad says Sega Saturn changed the game. Still don't know how my parents afforded that. Yeah, because Sega Saturn was pretty expensive back in the day. Believe said I had Pong and Atari, but my friend down the road had ColecoVision and Intellivision. Okay. PlayStation 2 is the best-selling video game console of all time, with over 158 million units sold worldwide as of October 24. And that's why PlayStation is the best. I know people are going to say Xbox and whatnot, but I mean, there's the proof in the pudding right there for you. I actually did a debate about that a while back about PlayStation versus Xbox. We had to have that debate. Of course, PlayStation won, but yeah, that's what's up. Some dope fun facts there. All right, so let's proceed with the question. So here's question 1 for everybody. What is your favorite retro video game console of all time? This is a two-part question. Also, if you had the opportunity to bring back any discontinued console or consoles, it can be more than one, which one would it be? All right, so for me, let's see. My favorite would have to be, man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to say Sega, just because Sega was just different. It was just something about Sega Genesis. Like when it came onto the scene, you know, it was just different. It was just unique. Because all the other consoles, again, they were dope, Atari, Nintendo, all of that. But I don't know what it was about Sega that, like, the minute I got one, I was just like deeply in love. Like, just everything about it was just dope. The controller, the layout, the console itself, 8-bit, 16-bit, you know, even the fact that like you could combine the cartridges like how they did with the Sonic franchise, where you could take Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and combine it with Sonic and Knuckles. Like that was just dope. Like I just never saw nothing like that at that time. So I definitely have to go with Sega. And then if I had the opportunity to bring back any discontinued consoles, definitely ColecoVision, definitely Atari, Sega Genesis, of course, and Super Nintendo. I want to say the old school Nintendo, but my only issue with old school Nintendo was when that damn console acted up. Well, I ain't gonna say the console. When the games acted up and you had to sit there and blow the hell out the damn controller, had to do all this stuff just to get it to work. That was my only thing about that. But I mean, I guess just for old time's sake, I would bring it back. But yeah, top of my list would be Sega for sure. All right, let me see what everybody's saying. Again, everybody, welcome in. Welcome in. Topic of conversation for this debate is retro video game consoles. There's the first question down right there. If you guys want to go ahead and answer that. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. You miss arcade. I do too, Johnny. I do too. Oh, Nintendo was your answer for, okay. All right. Everyone I knew had SCNS, so it wasn't hard to borrow games for it. You're right about that. Same thing with Sega too, because it wasn't a whole lot of games. They came out, and then as it got more popular, they started to expand with the games. So definitely, I used to borrow games all the time, especially my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Sergio, because he put me up on a lot of games. He had like damn near every console you could think of. So borrowing games, when I was able to finally get certain consoles that I wanted and I was looking forward to, I was definitely able to borrow them from him. And man, I just had a ball. Just don't you just miss the old school? I'm telling you, that's the next thing they need to invent a time machine so we can go back to this era and rock out with these old school games and stuff. That's it. I'm joining in on this. Again, if you want to come up, come on up. Come on up. The link is pinned. Just let me know. All right. Dreamcast says a resilient dad. See, Dreamcast, do y'all consider Dreamcast retro? Because even like PlayStation, I had another like conversation with a good friend of mine about this one. Like PS1, Dreamcast, even like Jaguar and all those, I don't really consider those retro consoles. They say that it falls under, the category of retro consoles, but I don't know. To me, I guess I don't really consider them retro. When I think retro, I think, old school, where the graphics weren't as sharp and crisp and stuff. I ain't gonna say the music, because the music's always been dope on all the consoles and games and stuff. But I'm thinking 8-bit, 16-bit. That's what I think of when I think of retro. I don't necessarily think 24, 32 and up. But what do y'all think? Do y'all consider those retro? Or because again, they say technically it falls under that. I personally just don't consider it to be retro. Like PlayStation 1, they say it's retro. But you look at the graphics and everything, I never considered it to be retro. That's just my opinion on it. Super NES, best console of all time. Oh, you think so? Okay. That's your pick, Johnny? Cool, cool. What is the best retro system and why is it N64? Says Shy. Um, N64 was dope. Even that's another one too. Do you consider the N64 to be retro? I don't think that's a retro one in my opinion. War said definitely Super Nintendo for him. Okay. But I'd bring back the Super NES era hands down. Super NES was dope. They had a lot of fire on there. I ain't gonna lie. Genesis, the black consoles, was it? Yeah, yeah. Those little square looking Genesis consoles. They look like a block of C4, Gary. Nightfire on the N64. Okay. I like Sega. I had the headset jack. Oh, you did? I didn't even know they had headset jacks for the Sega. That's pretty dope, Johnny. Ahead of his time. Definitely, definitely. The 64 bits. Yeah, like 24, 32, 64. I just don't consider those as retro. But if they are retro, then it is what it is. I just never looked at them as retro. Because when I first copped PlayStation and Jaguar and all them, I'm like, oh, they didn't stepped up now. They made the graphics, a little sharper now. It's 3-dimensional. I mean, I just could never fathom the thought that it was retro. I guess because of the age, because it's so much older now. I guess that's why they consider it retro. But I just never looked at it like that. Oh, you said you're hopping on? Oh, yeah, come on up. Come on up. All right, Johnny said facts. I don't really put them in retro either. Yeah, I don't. I don't. Everything after 16, I don't put up there. My boy.
What up? What up?
What's going on?
Man, as soon as you was talking about this, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to jump on this one. I already got my PlayStation shirt on and everything. I'm ready for this.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So you did start off answering the question for the first one. You said Sega, your favorite retro game of all time?
Sure. It was Super Nintendo.
Oh, it was Super Nintendo. My apologies.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Sega, but it was Super Nintendo for me. That was my first system, so I was like, yes, that was Super Nintendo.
Okay. So which console or which consoles, more than one, would you bring back? Like any discontinued ones? Are there any ones that you would say, okay, if you had the opportunity to bring them back, not so much for just an emulator, but just the console itself? Take your time. If you need a Jeopardy music, let me know.
I'm definitely going to need Jeopardy music because there's so many of them. I'm like, dang, I would definitely bring them back because they brought back so many good memories. But of course, I'm about to go with Super Nintendo. I just had such a good time playing that. And remember all the days where I would just go back and like rent them. Like so many games I would rent, like Wild Guns, Turtles in Time, Mortal Kombat. Oh my God. Don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started. We'll be here for days talking about this stuff. Don't get me started, man. We'll be talking here for days.
Absolutely.
Days.
All right. Let me just get to these comments because the chat's flying a little bit. Okay. So Resilient Dad said, I feel you. Dreamcast had that Beat Maker too, and it was discontinued. Yeah, they didn't even give Dreamcast opportunity. Great consoles. Okay. I was a PlayStation guy, though, can't lie. Well, I think a lot of us all are. Shy said, what are the retro options? Any retro console that you could think of from back in the day. Anything between 8-bit and 16-bit. So even like the little handheld consoles, those two, like the Game Boy Colors,
love the Game Boy, definitely.
Advance. I guess you could say the Game Gear, Sega.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Game Gear.
Yeah, any of those, any console that you could think of, handheld or the actual home console, Shy.
I got a funny story about the Game Gear. I'm so mad about it too. I remember my mom got that for me for Christmas, and I played this one. It was a Sonic racing game. I still got it to this day. And I used to play it like crazy, but the problem was that my batteries would get sucked down so quick. And I'm thinking to myself, is my Game Gear not working or something? So I ended up taking it back. My mom returned it because she thought it was broke. And years later, of course, I finally got it again. And then I realized, oh, I should have just bought me one of them adapters and I wouldn't have to worry about getting no batteries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why? They should just sold them instead of batteries. Like, why would I have to waste my time getting batteries? And I could just easily save money and got me an adapter. I didn't have to worry about it, going dead on me or anything. I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, that's the only thing with those handheld consoles. Those batteries burn so fast. But I think, it's because the console and the handheld devices, there was so much that went into it. So,
Yep.
it's not like now where we got the rechargeable batteries. Back in the day, you had to like literally go and buy, a year supply of double A's and whatnot. I mean,
Yep.
you go into the dollar store or wherever, and those racks would be empty because it's just like, oh man, my God, I need some batteries. It got to the point I had to throw mine in the freezer. Just
How I beat those games on Game Boy, I will never know, because like I swear my batteries would be like gone like that.
Right.
How I beat those games on Game Boy, I will never know.
You and me both, man. You and me both. All right, so let me see. Welcome in, everybody. The topic of conversation is retro video game consoles. That's the first question right there down at the bottom. So take your time with answering that one before we dive into the next question. Johnny said Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Breath of Fire. What console was that on? Because that does sound familiar. He also said Super NES is the best, brought the best RPG of all time, Square. Here's my only thing about those RPG games on the old school consoles. I don't know. They were just too slow. Huh?
They were so tough.
They were. And they just were too slow. Like Phantasy Star. I played, or like way back on Sega. And of course, as a kid, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of playing or whatever. But like looking back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, these games like were boring. I guess you got to be a true RPG head to be into those type of games. But I could just never really get.
I don't have the patience for them. Because if you gotta tell me what's going on, because otherwise, if I gotta like really look, I'm gonna be like, okay, what am I doing? I think that's why I can't play Zelda, because I'm just like, am I doing this right? Which way do I go? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I get this? Do I get that? And I'm like, what? You're confusing me.
Old school Zelda was complicated as hell because
beyond,
especially back then, because now it's not like where you got the tutorials and they give the instructions on where to go, what to do. Now it's a little bit easier. Back then, you didn't know what you were doing, where you were going. And I love Zelda just as much as the next person. But man, it's Zelda. It was like going through like an open world maze. I'm like, what's next? Like, where do I go? And then it's finally you get to another area, you think you're on the right path, and you're still not. And I'm like,
nope. And that's still the first level. you still got five more hours of gameplay. I'm like, wait, I'm not done yet.
Right. I'm thinking
like the final boss.
I'm thinking I'm making progress. It's like those. It was like MapQuest instructions. MapQuest used to print everything out.
God, don't get started on them.
And you still ain't know where you was going.
Don't get started on them. Do not get me started on them.
RPG games back in the day are just like MapQuest instructions. Like you think you know what you're doing, but you really don't.
And just imagine not having no internet. Oh God, trying to buy magazines like GamePro or like what's that? Nintendo Power. It's like,
right.
Where am I going? I don't know what I'm doing.
Just recalculating left and right drove me crazy.
That's why I wish I had some money as a kid, man. Lord of mine, all the magazines I could have bought so I could beat this game and that game and.
Exactly. And the crazy part is they don't even sell those magazines anymore.
No, look like I kept mine.
Yeah.
But if I knew then what I knew now, would have took better care of them. Oh my God, I was so reckless on my stuff. Oh my God, I was so reckless.
Absolutely. So Shy said my heart would have sank if the battery died. Yeah, we've all been there. We have definitely.
I would cry if that happened to me.
Okay, so Sonny said he would pick Super Nintendo. Okay, so seems like a lot of people.
So you can't go wrong with Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
It's got Super in it, so of course you can't go wrong with Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo was just ahead of its time. It definitely was. So Sonny's got a question for you, War. He said, "Did you beat Castlevania yet?"
You just had to bring that up. Oh my God, no. I didn't, and I'm so mad. Oh my God, I was fighting death, and I accidentally saved at the wrong time, and I messed myself up, and I lost my patience. Oh my God, I was so pissed. I lost my patience. I was like, nope, I can't do this now. I'm ill. I was done. And I was close to beating the game too. Like all I had to do was fight death, and then 3 more levels, I would have got to Dragon. I would have been done. But I had to mess up and save. Oh God! Can we talk about something else, please? Talk about something else.
Pray for him. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for War. It just gets better with time, like the song. All right. So BMG said Castlevania Symphony of the Night was my favorite. Okay. Johnny said, man, y'all missed the B5 games. Oh, BES 5? PS5. What's that one? I never heard
that
of
one.
that. Yeah, that's a new one to me. Oh, that's really back.
Sounds like the knockoff version of NES,
It
DES.
does sound like a dollar store version, generic. DMG said, "Oh, that's really back in the day when I started playing RPGs because we had game facts." Yeah,
See,
I remember.
I didn't know about them until like later on. I was like, dang, I could have been used them.
Right.
Cause see, I would go get Game Pros and get like cheat codes or like games. I'd be like, dang, I want to try. I'm gonna get that. I want to try that out. Let's see, Game Pro is my go-to. I love Game Pro.
Oh, absolutely.
I miss Game Pro.
You and me both, man. You and me both. So Sonny said, "Remember going to that one kid's house to play Nintendo?" Yeah, we've all done that.
Yep. Like, oh, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? I'm like, okay, you want to try it? Yeah, that's how I knew my games. I would either borrow from my friend or I would go to rental places and I just rent like crazy.
Yeah, my cousin's house was like the home arcade. He had every console all on one TV. So imagine just all those cords trying to plug each one up, all the controllers all over the place, games all over the place, just playing each one left and right. Like that was the spot to be. Shout out to my cousin Serge again. I shouted him out earlier, but shout out to him again. All right, so for everybody coming in, topic of conversation is retro video game consoles. That's the first question pinned right there. Let me know if you guys need me to go back to that first question. I'll do so, but I'm going to go to
the
next.
You know what? No, let me cut you off. But you know, you was talking about how like you didn't consider like PlayStation and like Nintendo 64 like retro.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I feel like they are retro because like, of course, I'm still thinking like as a kid, I'm playing them and looking at graphics now compared to then. It's like, whoa, they really updated on the graphics. And on top of that, when you try to buy them games now, over $100, I'm like, nah, like this is definitely why this is retro now because now they're trying to sell for like ridiculously crazy prices. I'm like, nah, I can't buy this.
Yeah, they definitely are. Unless you go to like underground spots or you go to those functions where people sell them for little to nothing, and you're able to get them with all the accessories.
You got to be really careful with them too because some of them know what they have. And like, oh, I got this. Oh, I could sell this for like 200, 300. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. No.
Yeah.
Even if I had that something, I'm cheap. I'm buying it for like $10. That's
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like before you came up, like if I'm going to consider like PlayStation and PS1 and all those PS2 like as retro, I guess I would have to say it, for the age because the fact that it's been like 10, 20 years or whatnot. But I mean, as far as just the graphics and everything, I don't necessarily look at it as retro because of the fact that it's like it transitioned from, being side scrolling to now being like 3D open world. Because you remember back then, the only thing we had close to open world was like Zelda and all those other RPG games like Phantasy Star.
Right.
The other one that DMG mentioned, like the old school Final Fantasies. Like, so, I mean, yeah, that was probably like the closest to, I guess you could say three-dimensional, but it was still very, very old school because, it was really just little blocks and colors and stuff like that. You could see the character walking and fighting and doing stuff. But, it's not like now where you can see like the full figure. You can see the detail and everything like that.
Right.
Everything's like kind of like all smushed up and stuff.
True.
So that's the only reason I don't put PlayStation and Sega, Saturn, and all those into N64. I just don't put them into the retro category aspect. Even like with N64, like Super Mario World, fighting Bowser.
I was say that game still looks good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just don't look at it as like retro, like how I look at old school Sonic or like the very first Super Mario Brothers that took forever to beat.
Yeah, true. So we won't call it retro. We'll just call it Tro or Ret. We'll just call it that. We'll shorten it. We'll call it Tro.
There you go.
Or we can say Retron. It's like future. It's like futuristic. You know what I'm saying? We say Retron.
Exactly. All right. So question 2 for War and everybody in here: are there any consoles that you would have loved to seen form a merger?
I definitely got one because I seen the console for it, and I was like, oh my god, that would have been crazy if they had actually did it. Was Nintendo and PlayStation because they're originally gonna form together, but luckily, thank God they did because we wouldn't have PlayStation because PlayStation was amazing. But I would love to have seen how they would have done Nintendo and PlayStation together because they were going to do CD and the cartridge. So I would like to have seen that. I
Yeah.
would love to see that.
For me, I would have loved to see Nintendo and Sega, like
Mm.
like Sega and Super Nintendo form a merger. That
Device
would,
processing.
yeah, that would have been pretty dope. Because you think both those two consoles, I think, like I said, they stand out the most out of everything because they had the dopest lineups to me.
Right.
You know,
So that would have been cool.
Super Nintendo with Super Mario World and how dope that was. Sonic with Sega with Sonic and Toe Jam and Earl and Cool Spot and oh man, I mean
Right.
the list goes on and on. So I'm just like, dang, like because they basically did that too. They had a one game on PlayStation. I think it was the Super Mario and Sonic. It was like the All Star one where they did.
Mhm.
So when I first saw that, I'm like, hey, it would have been dope to see like Nintendo and Sega kind of do like a collaborative.
I would just like to see Sega come back and try it again because the Dreamcast wasn't that bad, and you think they could come back again. I feel like they
I,
could.
I feel like they can. I think what needs to happen is a lot of people need to go on these blogs and hit up these corporations and tell them, hey, look, we want this, we want to see this, make it happen. Of course, naturally, they're only going to do it if they know the sales are going to meet their expectations. They won't do it if they're going to just have to waste time and money putting it out and it doesn't double or exceed their expectations in sales. So if more than enough people do it and actually purchase it, then it'll definitely happen for sure. All right, I just want to see what everybody's saying. Sunny said, oh no, I read that on one already. Okay. Again, welcome in everybody. Welcome in. You guys like those emulators or the pocket handheld emulators? Both.
See, I'm afraid to use emulators because I'm always afraid it's going to mess up my computer. But I would love to use an emulator.
On PCs, they do mess up, but
I'm afraid of.
Yeah, they do mess up a lot because I see a lot of people having to like restart their computers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the consoles, they work beautifully. Like I have the Sega Mega Drive on my PS5, and that thing boots up and plays all those old school games like it's nothing, from Shinobi to Golden Axe, all the Sonic games, all the Streets of Rage games. So it's
I'm still gonna do it the old school way. I'm gonna like hook up my console to my computer and like do it that way because it feels more genuine to me doing it that way.
Oh yeah, it's definitely nothing like the nostalgia. But I do love the fact that these next gens are bringing these retro emulators back, and they're making sure that they test it properly, they're remastered properly, and it's like having little to no issues. Because you remember back in the day, like with those emulators, you could switch games, but the screen would either go blank or would freeze. It's less likely to do that now.
And then the ones that were good, they'd be like, "Oh, we're shutting down. No, we got a cease and desist order, so we got to shut it down." So it's like, well, dang, thanks, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. DMG said, "I missed that Pro Action replay. Well, thanks to emulation, you can still tap into that." Okay. He also said, "I know I didn't have money as a kid when I used to go to my friend's house who had a Neo Geo and nobody else had one." Oh, Neo Geo, man.
Man, I want a Neo Geo so bad, but do you know how pricey them things are? Oh my lord,
very, very pricey.
I was a billionaire.
I knew about Neo Geo from going to barbershops and getting my hair cut and stuff. Having to wait, knowing it was going to be a while, just hopping on there playing World Heroes, playing some.
I was Mega Slug. I love Metal Slug. Yeah, Metal Slug. I love Metal Slug.
Metal Slug. I forgot that was
Metal Slug. I'm so glad I got them games. I need to do them. I love them games.
The whole SNK with Fatal Fury and oh man, what?
Oh man! Like I actually was crazy. I actually do got a Sega, not Sega CD, a Neo Geo CD. That was expensive, thank God. But the regular one, oh my God, no! You can't, bro. If you can find one under $1,000, good luck, man.
Yeah, I'm not paying no $1,000. I mean,
I'm not talking about, and I'm talking about just the console. The games, good luck finding them.
Yeah, you gotta like shop online or find those underground places or people that that have them for sale. That's the only way you're going to get those. It's crazy.
You're gonna pay your soul plus an arm and a leg to get them things.
Absolutely. So DMG said, I ended up catching later and getting all the systems when they were old and nobody wanted them anymore before they knew they were valuable. Oh, wow.
That's why I wish I knew what I knew then. I would have kept my stuff. Well, I mean, luckily I did. I kept majority of my stuff, but there were some things I was like, dang, I wish I kept them. Because now
Absolutely.
they're hard to find now, and they're getting expensive. Like, why are you so expensive now? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just trying to keep up with everybody. This chat is
You
flying.
good? You
Slim
good?
said, bro, I remember I had a friend growing up. I had Genesis console. I used to go over there and play before he would wake up and play Alter Beast. That's one game I could not stand.
Other Beast, I had trouble playing that game. I actually played that a couple of times. I was like, I can't play this. This is hard.
Alter Beast is hella frustrating. That's a fun, frustrating game right there, without a doubt. So DMG said, "Oh yeah, and Dungeon Explorer on Sega CD. That's an open world role playing action game. I don't think I heard of that one." Braun said, "I'm so happy to be able to get another Dreamcast and ready to rumble and Power Stone. You know they're bringing Power Stone back. They're actually doing another emulator.
I'm
For,
glad they're bringing back. What was that one game that I love? Jet Set. I love that game.
yeah, they're doing Jet Set Radio.
Yes.
They're doing Golden Axe, which looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Shinobi, which looks gorgeous. They're remastering all the Streets of Rage except for
We'll get them.
and it's one other one that they're doing. Oh, Power Stone. They're
I had trouble playing that one too.
Yeah, Power Stone, that was fun, but that was definitely frustrating for sure.
But I don't know why. There was something about Jet Set. I just love that game. I don't know why. Like going around spraying graffiti and rollerblading. I just thought that game was so fun.
Jet Set Radio was kind of like early Grand Theft Auto.
That's probably why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, it was like GTA before they got out of hand with running people over and robbing that person and carjacking and all that. You know, that was like the early stages of like, I don't want to say violence, but like vandalism, but like in a fun way though. So
True.
All right, DMG said to be technical, you could add the PlayStation and the N64 into retro because they have advanced look on 3D so much. Those were the beginning stages of even AD and 3DO.
See, that's why I kind of consider them retro. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are saying it because of the fact that it was, even though it was still old, it was like 24-bit. It transcended and started to change a little bit.
And on top of that, when I play like Tomb Raider and I see just the square Laura Croft, I'm like, that's why I'm like, yep, that's retro.
Right. Now. Even like if you look at like the old Resident Evil games, how their fingers are all like stuck together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People say that's retro, but I'm like, I mean, is it really? Because I mean, I get that their fingers aren't separated, but I mean, it's like back then, old school retro games, you didn't have the whole fist. You just had a little ball. You had a circle. Yep. That was how you knew it was a hand and stuff. You see like a little character walking around with the ball fist and the sword and stuff like that. It wasn't like now where you can see the fingers. So I mean,
see everything now.
Yeah, man, you can see underneath the fingernails. That's crazy. See how much dirt and grime is about. It's crazy now. These don't even look like games anymore, like motion pictures.
It's gonna get to a point where they're gonna eventually have us in the game itself. Like they're gonna find somebody to do that.
That's how I feel about that Detroit game, that Become Human. That's a scary game. The fact that like that game is already ahead of this time, and that's where we're headed right now.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's already getting there. I can't tell between movies, and video games and actual real life now.
Yep.
He said it was kind of good. It's kind of good that Song he didn't form Nintendo because Sony was able to pick up the slack for where Sega left off, making games for adults, Nintendo, and family. He also said if you think about it, if kind of got your wish in a sense because Sega is still a developer and now they sell their games to Nintendo. Yeah.
You never would think that Nintendo and Sega would be like that compared to how back in the day they were fighting against each other. Genesis and Super Nintendo, they were like.
Right. Wait, Slim said, BDB, I got to stop you right there. Emulators don't crash on computers. I'm a computer gamer and my computer, I have PS1, 2, 3, 4, PSP, OG, Xbox, Xbox 360, Dreamcast, etc. I mean, I'm only
added on my computer.
Yeah, I'm only going off of what I've seen with other content creators. Like I've seen them, have those emulators on their PCs, and they've said a lot of times it crashes. Now, maybe that could be just because of whatever device they're using. Maybe it's not necessarily the game itself, but I always hear them say like, "Oh, it crashed," and I know they're not playing on a console; they're playing on the PC. So maybe that's what's happening because they don't necessarily specify. I'm just under the impression when I'm watching that, it's crashing because of the emulator itself, because they're on the PC. All right. So
Right. Again, like I said, I've heard so many emulators that work perfectly fine. They could play them with no problem. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I need that emulator.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if anybody wants to come up, feel free to do so. If you guys want to stay within the live chat, you can
come through. I'm enjoying this.
Yes, sir. So Merge said, I still got my Sega Genesis, got to play Lion King and Streets of Rage.
Oh, God, Lion King. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right. Damn that Lion King. Finally.
Excuse my language, how in the hell did Disney make a game that was so annoying to beat? Like, I don't understand. Disney's like kid-friendly, but them games are not kid-friendly. I don't understand.
Right.
Especially Lion King. Don't even start on Lion King. Oh, my God.
Here's the thing, though, War. I think Jungle Book was harder than Lion King. I don't know if you agree or not.
Playing that one. I have it. I don't think I had trouble playing it compared to Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King was frustrating, especially that part with the monkeys and stuff, and you got to like spin around and get on the octave.
We're not talking about that level. I hate that level. Don't talk about that level. I hate that level. I hate that level. I can never get past that level. I hate that freaking level, man. Just stand that level.
That level, I hated that. Once I got past that, I was pretty much good to go until I got to fighting Scar and stuff. The easiest one, though, I think was Aladdin. Aladdin was pretty simple.
I had trouble with Aladdin for some reason. I don't know why.
You did?
I didn't. No.
Oh, you didn't?
That was actually kind of easy. I mean, except that one part where I'm like on the carpet and I had to escape the lava. That was kind of tough. But other than that, it wasn't that bad of a game. I didn't have trouble.
That part was a little complicated, but not too bad, though. Yeah, I would say going in order, it was Aladdin. No, I'm saying it was Jungle Book, Lion King, and then Aladdin, as far as like hardest to easiest. But yeah, Jungle Book, that game is tough.
See, I don't remember playing it that much. I remember renting it, but I don't remember playing it much compared to Lion King. So that's why I got Lion King up top, because I remember playing that a lot and trying to figure out how do I beat this, because I can't get past this level.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll be doing it right, but it's like, nope, you failed. Start over again. I'm like, gee, thanks.
Thank God for that rewind feature. That rewind feature has been such a blessing for these virtual games.
Now I'm going to start using that now because
got to. I use it all the time. I ain't no shame. Like, look, I beat them back in the day, but now going back, revisiting, I got to rewind.
Be con, rewind.
Exactly. So Merge said, Bushido Blade.
I remember Bushido Blade.
Was that retro? Because that felt more like recent.
I'm trying to remember what system that came out of. Because I remember the game. I just don't remember.
I remember it too. Merge, was that Neo Geo or? Because I do remember it.
Hold on, let me look it up. Because I do remember. Yeah, I remember it too.
Okay,
I'm looking it up right now.
Merge also said Beowulf. Oh yeah, remember Beowulf. And Odyssey said Golden Knots. They're bringing that back too. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Oh, it's PlayStation. Okay, yeah, it's PlayStation. I do remember that game. Yeah, I remember that.
I do remember Bushido Blade. I just didn't know which console it was for.
Yeah, it was first PlayStation. Yep.
Right. So Slim says Streets of Rage was my game. Axe was my player. Oh, Axel. Yeah, absolutely. OG Tekken was difficult.
I love Tekken.
Yeah.
If I chose Law or who's the other one that everybody hated, Eddie, you was in trouble.
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think who was the hardest person to fight against on.
Me personally was Eddie because I got tired of him breakdancing on me. I was like, okay, you're pissing me off now.
Definitely Eddie. Nina too. Nina's pretty.
Nina wasn't that bad for me.
Yeah, I mean when she starts doing the counters and stuff, because she knows Aikido, but she also knows close quarter combat (CQC). So it's like if you can't like break out of her combos and stuff or break out of those counters, that's it. Like lights out.
Gotcha.
Oh,
yeah. The first one. Okay. I think the first one I had trouble fighting Law. It was Law. I had trouble fighting him.
Law and Kazuya. Ugh. Hated fighting Kazuya on there. Definitely.
See, the second one's the one I played the most, and I think the Devil was the one I had trouble with.
Especially that optic blast that he used to do.
Oh, God. If I didn't jump on time, I'd get so mad.
And see, like, back then, it was quick. So if you didn't see it coming, half your bar was gone. At least now you kind of know when it's about to happen. So like the wings start spreading.
A lot of times he wouldn't fly up. He would actually just stay on the ground. I'm like, whoa, shit, what are you doing? And I'll be in trouble. I'll be like, oh, I'm dead.
Absolutely. So again, for those coming in, welcome in. The topic of conversation is retro video game consoles. If you guys need the first question, I'll bring it back up. But the second question right here is: are there any consoles that you would have loved to see form a merger? There's one other one I would have loved to see. I would love to see like maybe Neo Geo. I don't know with who though. I'm trying to think what would be a good merger with Neo Geo.
I can see Sega. I can see Sega or Nintendo.
I would say Sega only because of like what's it called? What's that game? Eternal Champions.
Yeah, I can see say Sega with them. Maybe then I would have known about them, not would have got it, so I had to worry about getting it for like no $1,000. Yeah, so they should have merged.
Right. So Tekken 3 Gon was dope. Oh, the character I couldn't stand Gon. That little dinosaur, right? On Tekken 3?
Was that him?
Tekken 3 was the best.
The fighters on Tekken 3 were the ones I enjoyed the most. Was Law, Eddie, and there was another one. I cannot say his name to save my life. I think it started with an H. He would always kick. He was so dope too.
Hamon?
I think that's his name. I cannot say his name to save my life.
That's Merge's favorite character. Harang or Horang?
I think that's how you say his name. But he would always kick, and I'm like, oh, I like his kicks.
Yeah. And
Bayek.
Bayek fighting him tough because he was the OG that taught Harang. So yeah, going. All right, Merge said Dreamcast Nintendo. Ooh,
Nintendo Dreamcast, that would have been dope.
That got a nice ring to it. Nintendo Dreamcast. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that because Nintendo had a lot of like hidden gems that people kind of like don't talk about.
And I'm surprised that Dreamcast didn't sell as good. It should have sold more because I went back and played the games. I'm like, it's actually really good.
Because Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast was fire.
That one, of course, Ready to Rumble. I love Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Ready to Rumble. I forgot who it was.
Yep, love Ready to Rumble. I remember the first Jet Set. That was a good one. Can't forget Resident Evil Code Veronica, even though that game was tough. They had some good bangers on there. I'm surprised that Dreamcast didn't do as good as it did.
I think it was just because like there was other stuff out. There was just those other consoles that were just so much more popular and more like well known. Like they didn't really advertise Dreamcast like they should have. Like you saw like N64 made a lot of noise. Like what's it called? Super Nintendo made a lot of noise. Yep. But then you had the ones, like 32X, Jaguar, Dreamcast were dope, but they just like went under the radar. They were kind of like underground hip hop.
He said I got Gamecast. Nice. Hey, I want to see that be an actual system. I'm like, I wonder what a Gamecast would look like.
Imagine that merger. Gamecast from
I want a Gamecast. Malibu's Most Wanted. I want a Gamecast now.
B.D.B.G.P from Malibu's Most Wanted. If they did Gamecast, that would be fun.
I actually want to see that now. I want Gamecast now. I want to try that.
Yeah, we're going to get on the blogs, make that happen.
Let's make a Gamecast.
Right.
I thought somebody make a Gamecast. Now I won't, because I'm like, I wonder what a Gamecast is.
Man,
the
first time he said that, I had to like rewind. I'm like, wait, hold on. Did I hear that right? I'm like, no, he didn't say Gamecast. GameCube and
Dreamcast, pretty much. I was like, is that actually a system? I was like, oh, no, he was making that up. Okay, never mind. But I was actually trying to look it up. I was like, oh, is that an actual system? I want to try that. Let's see if it's any good.
Right. GameCube kind of went under the radar, too, because GameCube was pretty dope.
That controller messed me up. I couldn't play it at first.
Yeah.
Now I'm used to it now.
Yeah, the controller was terrible.
I don't know how I was able to play an N64 controller. I actually enjoyed the N64 controller. I don't know how, but I enjoyed it.
I don't know what it was. I think the games, I was just so hyped up about the games that it made me bypass the fact that the controller was just like, wasn't too crazy about it.
Maybe that's why. Because like I said, I had no issues playing an N64 controller. I had no issues.
Right. So DMG said Neo Geo and Sony. Okay, I could see that merger. Slim said Bloody Roar. Bloody Roar was that was ahead of its time. I heard they might bring that back.
They need to.
People are like getting in blogs asking for it. Oh, Gong. Yeah, the little dinosaur where he spam people with the tail whipping in the fart. I hated Gong. I could not stand Gong. That was like the worst character on Tekken. Crazy Taxi on Dreamcast. Crazy Taxi.
That was a good one too. I actually enjoyed that. I love playing that at the arcade for some reason. I enjoyed playing that one.
Pinky said I got a Gamecast.
I want a Gamecast so bad now. Can somebody go and like tell some company to make a Gamecast for us, please?
Yeah, we got to find out. Like, we got to just go to Nintendo and we got to go to Sega and be like, look, we want Gamecast. They gonna look at us like, what the hell, Gamecast? Like, watch the movie.
Just watch Malibu's supposed to want. You understand? Like, oh, okay.
And then the fact that he got mad at him, he's like, well, there's police. He's like, what I say, man, I can't afford it.
He's like, dang, my bad. See, that's why we would like to have a Gamecast. It'd be affordable.
Right. Pinky said, Gamecast brought us all the 2K games that we know today. Yeah, that is true.
But then again, knowing my luck, getting a Gamecast, I'd probably play like those Tiger electronic games where it's just like basically a drone just moving.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so here's my third and final question for everybody. Now, take your time with this one. So this is, as I mentioned, the Mount Rushmore. So if you guys know what the Mount Rushmore is, it's that monument that represents all 4 presidents. But what I like to do with this one is I like to make it so where you have to pick 4 solidified ones and an honorable mention, which is basically going to give you a top 5. So 4 solidified and a +1. Now I got 2 specific ones I want everybody to give their take on. So what is your honorable mention? What is your Mount Rushmore and your honorable mention for your favorite retro video game consoles and accessories? 2 lists. So I had to pull my phone out for this one.
I'm about to think on this one because, like I said, growing up, I didn't have that much, so I had to wait for birthday or Christmas to get this stuff. So I'm like, this is gonna be tough.
Take your time. Take your time. I'll give mine because I did a lot of research and I had to really think about it. So you might have some in the list that are similar to mine. So I'll just go over mine. So for the consoles, I got to go with Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, the Atari Flashback, which was dope as hell.
I remember that. Well, I mean, I do remember it, but I didn't play as much.
Neo Geo AES, and my honorable mention is ColecoVision. So that's for the consoles.
Do you know how bad I want to add PlayStation N64 to that list so bad, even though you're not considering retro? I want to add that so bad to my list because that's what I grew up with. You know what I mean?
If you want to add it, add it. Like I said, I just don't consider it retro. But to everyone else, you guys might look at it as retro. So,
okay, for me, definitely Super Nintendo because that was my first system.
Okay.
Definitely Game Boy. Can I be console or? Definitely Game Boy. Okay. Well, let me add Game Boy Advance because I was able to play both my Game Boy and my Advance games. So yeah, it was 2 for 1. So Game Boy Advance because that was okay. All right, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Advance, PlayStation for me. The first one, of course, that was my go-to. Once the first one came out, I was like, it's raps.
Yeah.
I love my N64. I don't care what nobody says. I love Nintendo 64.
N64.
Okay. Yes, and my honorable mention was Genesis. Even though I didn't grow up with it, I respected it. So that was my honorable mention.
Okay.
I respected it.
That's a nice list. That ain't bad. That's a nice starting 5 right there. So Merge said, "Oh, that's easy. House of Dead 2 with the guns."
Oh, House of Dead. Oh my god. I love House of Dead. And I want oh my god, I want those guns. That's one of my accessories. Those guns. The NES. What was it? The scope. I forgot the name of it. Was the NES Zapper?
Right, Merge. I thought you were going to say Time Crisis for a second. I was about to say,
I love Time. Oh god, don't get me started with Time Crisis. I love Time Crisis.
The guns on Time Crisis. What? Reload.
Yes,
Reload.
And the fact that you can press that button, you can like hide and then come back. Oh god, yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Yes. So Merge said Dreamcast for 1. Okay, so you got 4 more to think of.
So my accessories, definitely the Zapper.
Okay.
What was that one? It was Super Nintendo one, but it was like basically a bazooka. He actually said it too, but they had a name for it too.
Slim said bazooka.
Okay, so 2. See, I didn't really have that many accessories, so I can't really think of that many of them.
Take your time. Think about every accessory from any console that you remember. Even like if you didn't have the console,
this is a given. A memory card. Definitely a memory card. Definitely a memory card. We definitely got to add that on there. Memory card. We definitely got to add that.
Okay.
What else? The Rumble Pack, because at the time you didn't have the the vibration. You say to get the Rumble Pack. Definitely that.
Oh, I forgot about the Rumble.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Hey.
See, this is why I had to add Nintendo to the N64 because I'm like, you're missing so much stuff, accessories on that thing. Because I was like,
yeah, I knew there was one I was missing. Oh, the Rumble Pack.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So what would be my honorable mention? Okay, so I said the Zapper, that bazooka, definitely a memory card. You definitely had that memory card. Definitely a
Memory card was a plus. Was a must.
Yeah, plus. So definitely that. What's the Rumble Pack? Okay, I gotta finish more. The Rumble Pack. They actually had a joystick that looked like you was playing like an actual like for PlayStation. That was really dope. So that was an honorable mention. Actually, I think they had it for Super Nintendo as well. It was like basically like the NES Advantage, and it was dope too. Basically, like you was playing like how the Neo Geo had that that joystick controller. That's that's honorable mention.
Okay,
Definitely honorable mention.
That's nice. Damn, the Rumble Pack, man, you got me.
You're welcome, B. You're welcome.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
You're welcome. I had to add that one on there because I was like, I wonder if he remembers that Rumble Pack. I was like, I know he remembers that.
Without a doubt, that is a hidden gem right there. Good one right there. Good
Rumble
one.
Pack. Cannot forget the Rumble Pack.
All right, so Slim says Super Nintendo and the Bazooka. Okay, he also said Game Boy. Which one? Game Boy, the original, the Advance, or the Color? Which one? He also said PS1. Oh yeah, yes, Time Crisis. Time Crisis set the stage for House of Dead and the Alien and Terminator, all those games from the Dave and Buster's and the old school arcades we used to go to in the mall. So without a doubt, Funko Land, all of that, KB Toys, Blockbuster. Yeah.
Of course, I would like to have the Game Boy Game Boy on there, but like I said, I had to put Game Boy Advance up top because, like I said, not only could I play my advanced games, I could also play my Color and my regular Game Boy on that. So it's like, oh yeah, that's a 2-for-1 right there. So yeah, I gotta add that.
That is.
That's all right. So Rushmore.
I know it's tough, and everybody gets mad at me. Well, not like in a bad way, but they're like, "Man, you make it challenging." But it really makes you think because sometimes, like, you'll have a list set, and then you think about certain ones, and you're like, "Okay, I got to make some swaps." You know how many times I had to make swaps with my Mount Rushmore list? It's tough because you're like, "Oh," like it really makes you think, and it just takes you back to like that time when it's like, "Oh man, like." I remember this. I remember that. Okay, hold on. Put this in there. No, swap this out. Dude, okay, no, take that. Like it's like the stock market. You just gotta like go up and down with it, but keep throwing this in, throwing that in. So definitely. All right. Pinky says,
"Oh my God,
Super Nintendo 64."
Oh my bad.
No, what were you about to say?
I was looking at what Pinky said when he said Snake on the Nokia. I love Snake. That game was so fun. Whenever you play on the phone, that game was so great. I love Snake. I love Snake. I love Snake.
I didn't forget about that one, but
I love that game. I could play that right now, and I would have a good time playing that game.
Right. Oh man,
I can never forget that one. That was, whew.
I can't swap out.
That and the pinball game. Whenever I used to play, whenever I had my first computer, that pinball game. Oh yeah. Oh, that one.
Oh yeah. Damn,
love that pinball game.
Y'all mentioning some good ones. That's what's up. All right, so he said,
I forgot about. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. No, I can't forget about that.
It's memory lane. It just takes you back.
So I'm glad I brought back that the Rumble Pack. I was like, oh my God, I wonder if he remembers that Rumble Pack.
Yeah, Rumble Pack was a must. I loved having that. All right, so he said Super Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Super NES, Game Boy accessories, the Nintendo handgun, Zapper, memory, Rumble Pack, and the N64 transparent controller. Oh yeah, I forgot about those transparent controllers. Slim said I did own the guns for PS1, Zapper, Nintendo, Bazooka, and Super Nintendo. Honorable mention: playing Cruising World at the laundromat.
Man, I've had so many. Oh my God, I miss arcades, man. I miss arcades.
Yo, I forgot about that. Every time I used to try to play it at the laundromat that I went to, it was always broken.
Oh God! All the cores I used to waste on Pac-Man, Galaga, Die Hard Arcade, Mortal Kombat, House of Dead, Time Crisis. Oh Jesus! Star Wars Arcade. Oh my God, bro! Star Wars Arcade, Carnival. Oh my God, bro! Don't get started on. We need to do a debate table on arcade games. Oh my God, man, I miss them days.
And if we doing arcades, man, Simpsons, Final
Simpsons,
Killer Instinct, Clay Fighter.
Ultra Combo.
Yeah. The X-Men game where you can play with all 6 characters. Oh man, I still have flashbacks of Wendigo. I couldn't stand it. Like only boss I know that says his name as he's getting his ass kicked. It's like, shut up. Like, we know your name is Wendigo. Now die.
Oh, don't get me started on Shao Kahn. You're pathetic. Oh my god.
Yeah, you think you can win? Pointing at you like that's so disrespectful. Oh, what else did they have at the arcades? Of course, when they brought Tekken out, that just shut it all down.
You couldn't beat me on air hockey. I was the king of air hockey. You couldn't beat me on that one.
Air hockey ain't even retro.
I don't care. You couldn't beat me on that game. We're talking about arcades. You couldn't beat me on that one.
True. Very true. Very true.
We're talking about arcades.
Pac-Man.
Get Pac-Man.
When they brought Super Mario Kart in there.
Sonny, make a beat off of Pac-Man, please. We appreciate it.
Yeah. These new Pac-Man games, like the retro ones that they're remastering, are absolutely crazy. Like what is it, Pac-Man 365? That one is really dope. And they did an all-star one too, where they brought all of the old school ones back and the new ones, and they bundled it into like an emulator. I got to get that one. It's absolutely dope.
Sounds good.
All right. So Merge said Genesis, N64, Atari, Nintendo Super. Okay. Slim said he's talking about the OG Game Boy. Okay, got you. Game Boy Color was elite. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Got mine. I ain't never getting rid of that one.
Yeah, that's a must keep right there.
Yeah, I ain't getting rid of that. I'm sorry. You could offer me. I'm going to sound crazy when I say this. You could offer me $1 million for my stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
Okay.
These are memories. No, I can't get rid of these.
Right. So Merge said Sega NES. Okay, so mentioning those. Honorable mention. He said Snake. All right. Remember Kahunaville? Oh, yeah, I remember Kahunaville. King Arthur's, Sportland, Timeout. These are all places in Jersey too. I don't know if anybody else had these places, but those are like the arcades that we had. Even like going to AMC Theater, how they brought like their the arcades out and stuff like that when they had like Tekken and Soul Calibur. I remember when they had Soul Edge, and I was like, Soul Edge, and then they said that was the Japanese version of Soul Blade, and I was like, oh, okay.
I wish I lived in Japan because there's so many games that they have that I would love to play. And I'm like, they're Japan. I'm like, really? We need to go to Japan. We need to find some.
They got everything.
Sonny, can you like give us some tickets to go to Japan, please? There's so many games in Japan that I need to get. Help some brothers out, please, son.
Right. I don't even have to fly, coach. Just put me with the luggage.
Yes. I'll swim there. Just make sure I, get there on time.
That's a lot of swimming.
It'd be worth it.
It would. I ain't gonna lie to you. So Pinky said going to Sports World in the 90s, core memory unlocked. Exactly. We used to play Frog.
It was like Walmart because they would have the arcade there, and that's how I knew the majority of my arcade games because they had like before you get you would go in, they would have the arcade either to the left or to the right. I'm like, Ma, you go shop. I'm gonna be in here.
Yeah.
Some more combat.
Yeah, your family or whoever you with getting their nails done or getting their hair done, right to that arcade. That quarter on the machine. I got next. Let's get it.
Exactly. Those are my go-to spots. Was Walmart.
That Street Fighter line used to be like outside the door. It's like, man, you had to. I remember like it got so crazy that they started having like bouncers and stuff. Like, man, you had to be on the guest list and stuff like that. They were really like taking names and stuff. Like, all right, come back in an hour and you'd be able to rock.
Right. Luckily, the times I went wasn't really nobody in there, so I was like, "Oh, I got this arcade to myself. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this."
Exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was only on like the slow days. You had to go like a Monday or Tuesday when everybody's at work, and then you had everything to yourself and stuff.
No, don't go on no weekends. If you're on a weekend, you ain't gonna play nothing.
Friday through the weekend, don't go. And especially nighttime, forget about it. You might as well just wait for Monday morning. No way you're making it in there and playing anything. You might be able to play air hockey. That's about it.
Well, I guess I'll play air hockey then. That's how I learned how to get good because I was playing air hockey the entire time. Yeah, so I got good at it.
Or the virtual reality thing where you're sitting there and it's shaking all around. That's it. But as far as like the games that you wanted to play,
they were picking up. I'm like, mother freak. I'm like, come on now. Could y'all like please hurry up and beat the game so I can play? Dang.
Exactly. All right. So Slim said, who used to play Frogger on the arcade? I remember the game shop. It was
tough for me. Oh Lord, I loved that game, but that game was tough for me.
That's one of the most challenging ones I ever played. He said for
sure. Just crossing the street with a frog would be easy, but no, they made it tough.
Yeah, especially the advanced levels where the traffic starts getting like really fast.
Yeah, I'm like, how did this game get so tough? Like, I'm confused.
Forget
good game though, but dang, I know it would be that tough.
He said, Slim said, for sure, I want to go to Japan where they have a lot of games we don't get. They do. Absolutely.
I will learn Japanese in a heartbeat because they be talking. I'm like, what are you saying? But I'll learn it so I can play these games.
Oh, yeah. Even like, for example, like the Mega Drive collection that I was mentioning earlier. they have a version in Japan, and that one has all the games that I've been streaming on my Retro Hour playlist. But they also got the stuff that the US one doesn't have. They got Cool Spot. They got X-Men 1 and 2 Clone Wars, which was I loved X-Men 2 Clone Wars. That game was flawless. And I'm like,
why do we not live in Japan? I'm not understanding.
Like, why y'all can't bring it here? We ain't that far away. Like, I mean, yeah, you got, the Pacific Ocean, but like, we close enough.
These games. We like games too.
Yeah. Give me Cool Spot. Give me X-Men 2 Clone Wars, and I'm happy. That's it. As long as you add those two, I'm good. Now, I will say they did add Gunstar Heroes. They did add Golden Axe. They added the Streets of Rage. So I'm happy with that. But it's like, come on, y'all give us the other gems that were just as flawless. And they got Paperboy 1 and 2 on the Japanese version. I'm like, that ain't right. Come on.
So why we get like the, I mean, we got good stuff, but why we gotta get the compared to Japan? Like, come on now.
Yeah, they get the 5-star and stuff, and we get 3 and stuff. I'm doing a Yelp. Nice.
For real.
And they got what's the other game? Oh, it was just on the tip of my tongue. It's gonna come back to me. Oh my god.
Probably a game that I know too.
It is. It's one that and it's one that's like absolutely fire.
Oh god.
Oh, Earthworm Jim. The Japanese version got it. Like, that ain't fair. It's not fair. So Pinky said, remember 2 Extreme on the OG PlayStation where you would BMX, skateboard, snowboard, roller skates, watch Airborne with Mitchell Guzin. Man.
That one. Of course I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater more, but I do remember 2 Extreme now.
That's crazy. Pinky, hold that thought for that one because I have an episode coming up where we're going to be talking about one-hit wonders of acting. So that's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that because that's going to be episode 30. So we definitely got to talk about that one for sure.
Nice.
Paperboy on OG Game Boy. Yeah, very nice. Gunstar Heroes.
You think Paperboy wouldn't be a hard game, but that one was a tough one too. I'm like, why is this game tough? All I'm doing is delivering paper. Yeah,
Paperboy was hella challenging. Even Excite Bike and the Japanese Genesis version, and they got Road Rash and Twisted Metal.
Why would I in Japan? Why are we here?
Right.
We need to be in Japan.
Come on, man. Killing me.
And what's crazy is that this. See, look, I got Japan right here. Come on, come on. Can we go to Japan, please?
Yes.
Let's go to Japan.
Can we?
And I'm gonna wear this shirt too when I'm there.
Exactly. DMG said Gunstar Heroes was dope. Yes, it was. Ikono reminded me of Metal Slug and Contra. Absolutely.
I love Metal Slug. I love Metal Slug, man.
Metal Slug and Contra were other 2 classics. All right, so I got to read my list for the accessories. So we'll go back in time a little bit. So, of course, the Nintendo gun is up there.
The Zapper.
The Nintendo Power Pad. I don't know if you guys remember that. The old school pad that had all the numbers. It had that one game where you had to build that big-ass burger. I forgot what the name of that game was called. And then they had the other game. It was a dual one where you had to grab the bombs from under the chickens. Otherwise, they would explode. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, God, I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it. It sounds familiar. I think I know what you're talking about, too, and I can't remember the name.
Yeah, you were in the chicken coop, and there was like a wolf or a coyote. He was throwing bombs underneath each chicken, and you had to run around and grab.
So familiar.
Yeah, you had to step on the pad, and then your character would run and grab the bombs from underneath them and toss them. But if you didn't hurry up, it would blow up the chicken and stuff like that. Then you had to start all over. It was that one, and then it was the burger one. You had to step on it, and you keep building like the burger and stuff. You'd have to throw like the lettuce, tomato, the beef patty, cheese. I forgot
that one. I remember that one.
What the game was called, but it was so dope. So definitely that. Nintendo Power Glove was.
Oh God.
Look, listen. That was the closest to having Thanos' gauntlet from the Avengers.
Even though that thing was not fun to play.
It wasn't. And half the time,
hold up. I gotta get my Hold up. Wait a minute. I still got mine wrapped up too. I got it wrapped up right here.
Man, what?
Oh, I ain't taking this out. That's fire. I'm leaving it just like this. This is too fire.
You might get a lot of money from that. Like,
I don't care. I'm leaving it like this. Nope.
Yeah, that's the
right here
edition too. Oh man.
Yeah,
Pinky said it. Bomb chicken.
Bomb. Okay. I knew it was bomb. Something I could not remember the name of it though.
Yeah. What was the burger one called? I can't think of it for the love of God. I can't.
I
think
about
of
said Bob's Burgers. I know it's not it.
Burgers.
I about said that too.
Right. So I said the Nintendo gun, the Nintendo pad, Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah, I've become a collector now, so that's why I'm like, let me stop.
That's dope. It look like you just bought that too. It's like clean.
I actually bought this a couple of years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving that in there. I ain't taking that out.
Yeah. Untouched. Oh, Game Genie.
Game Genie, that was good.
Everybody, Game Genie. That was one right there. And the honorable mention is the Sega Activator. I don't know if you guys
I'm supposed to say Rumble Pack, but yeah, the Activator was cool.
I wanted to say Rumble Pack, but I thought about the Sega Activator. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was that circular pad, and you stepped in it, and you would do like the punches and the kicks, because it was mainly specified for that game,
I know what you're talking about.
Eternal Champions.
I know what you're talking about too, because I've seen it on every GN episode. Got the name of it though. I know what you're talking about too.
He named it Burger. That's what it was called. Burger and Bomb Chicken. That was the dual game for the Nintendo pad, because you had to, in order to play the game, you had to have a Nintendo pad. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you play it. Thank you, Pinky. Thank you. But yeah, the Sega Activator. It was like a circular pad. You step in. You could load up Eternal Champions, and then they had the different modes where you could play with the controller or you can play with the pad, and then you go in there and do punches and kicks, and they would emulate everything that you did in the pad and stuff. Oh, that was so dope. That was my introduction to Eternal Champions. Whatever happened to that game? I'm surprised they didn't do more with that. Eternal Champions.
I feel like it got overshadowed by Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and all that stuff, because we had so many fighting games in the 90s. It was crazy.
Even like World Heroes, same thing with that one. Like, that was another game that people slept on. Now, y'all gonna laugh, and people thought I was crazy because I showed one of my boys this because he didn't believe me, but
oh no.
No. And there's a game called Balls with a Zeno.
I know what you're talking about too. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Because my boy thought I was crazy, and I showed him that. And he was like, he said, "What in the adult film is this?" I said, "Look, I kid you not. They actually have a game called Balls.
Yep.
And it's like the little 3D spheres, and they made them into characters, and they start punching and kicking and doing all types. And then whoever loses, they play like, I hate to say it, they play like this 70s adult film music. Like, ball, woo, ball, woo." I was like, yeah. Wow. I'm glad I'm not the only one, because for a while, I'm like,
hold on. I don't know if you can see it, but oh shoot, I don't know if you can see it, but there it is, right there.
Yep. Thank y'all. So see, everybody that was clowning and cracking up, y'all thought I was crazy. Look, the game exists, and if you don't believe me, go on YouTube.
I believed you, because I was like, yep, I remember that. I was like, oh my god, how in the heck they make a game like this?
I don't know, and they took it off the market so fast because and it's crazy because when it first comes on and stuff, you just hear the music and you hear the moans and stuff. You're like, what the hell is going on? Because when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this game's wild. But then I played it, I'm like, this game's actually pretty fun. But
did I put the wrong type of game? Oh god.
Yeah. I remember playing it with my boy and my mom. She heard it. She was like, "What the hell are y'all playing?" I'm like,
"Nothing. This is about balls." I mean,
yeah. She's like, because I didn't say it in the right way. I'm like, "We're playing with balls," and she was like, "No, turn this off." Turn this off.
Like, no, it's not that type of game. It's a kid's game.
Yeah, she yanked the console, not the console. She yanked the cartridge out of the console. Oh, I was like, "Really, Mom?" She's like, "No, you ain't playing this." I'm like, "All right." So look, you guys know now. For everybody watching locally, internationally, there's a game called Balls. So I'm just making it up. Don't think it's explicit. There's a game. Go look it up on YouTube and stuff. You saw War just showed the proof. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that game does exist. It's a fun game.
Pinky would say Shaq Fu. Oh my god, Jesus.
Oh god, I love the first Shaq Fu. That new one was terrible. The first Shaq Fu was good. I'm not even gonna lie, but that second one was atrocious. The one that
said Shaq Fu was good. What is wrong with you?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it was.
You stop looking at the camera right now. I'm looking dead in your eyes right now. You just said Shaq Fu was good, bro.
It was different. You got to think about it. We have too many games like that. Like that.
You know, hold up real quick. Hold up. I got something for you. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold
Pinky said it. Look, he said Shaq
hold up.
Fu.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Hey, Pinky, I'm with you. Shaq Fu was dope. I know War's probably going to disagree, and it's all good. Shaq Fu was dope. I mean, it didn't make sense, but it was dope.
Thank you, B.D.B. for liking my game. I appreciate you. I am because I am. Greatest fighting game ever. I am because I am.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Hey, at least he wasn't cross-eyed in the game.
What's up? Name is Shaquille O'Neal.
Right. And I'm the best fighter.
It
was kind of like it was like a low budget Mortal Kombat, just minus like the fatalities and stuff.
God, bro, the control was so bad. How did you like that game? I
don't know. I guess because I never seen anything like that. I never expected Shaq to come out with a game of that caliber. So I mean, it caught my interest. Now that side scrolling one that you were streaming, that was terrible.
I actually thought that one was decent.
You thought that was decent, but you said
this one was god awful. But the sequel was actually decent. I was like, I'm actually enjoying this somewhat. It's not. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, it's not bad compared to
that's how I feel about Shaq Fu. Like Shaq Fu
was. But you should be thinking the opposite. This one was god awful. It was so bad. It was bad. The sequel was like playable.
I hate the sequel.
What is it?
He likes the sequel, but he hates the original.
I mean, I didn't love it, but I mean, I was like, I mean, it's playable, but Shaq Fu, I can't play that one.
Really? What's so bad about Shaq Fu? Let me hear.
The control is bad. Like I'm literally pressing every button, and he's just standing there like.
Well, of course you can't. You're not supposed to play with Shaq in the game. You're supposed to play with the other characters.
I'm talking about like the story mode. Like when I play story mode, I can't play it. But if I'm playing the fighting, then yeah, I don't play as him because he's god awful.
Yeah, the campaign is probably not best to play with, with Shaq and stuff. But yeah, like you said, playing like versus mode, it's a lot better.
Yeah, really saying much.
I wouldn't
be saying I'm putting a cherry on a pile of crap. Yeah, ooh, there's a cherry on it, but okay.
Hey, at least it was a much easier fighting game than that Ninja Turtles tournament one. Tournament fighters.
And that one too. I got my butt handed to me on that game. Oh my god.
And you know what? I still gotta stream that one, even though it's the one I'm kind of like trying to ignore. But I'm gonna just end up doing it anyway.
Just do it. You might as well.
Yeah,
just do it.
Just because it was frustrating. But I'm gonna do it because that's the only one out that Turtles collection that I didn't do is Tournament of Champions.
You got to do it, man. You have to. You gotta do it.
Oh yeah, I got to. It's only right. Arch rivals on the OG Nintendo gave you fighting and basketball at once. It did.
That's why I like playing like games like NBA Street and NBA Jam. Oh my god, I love those games.
I heard Lil Birdie said that they might be doing NBA Street and they're trying to kind of like add elements of 2K, but they're not going to make it as complicated as
I hope not, because I can just press a button and like, bam, you did this, baby, you did that. I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine with me.
Because if you remember the playgrounds, the 2K playgrounds, they're basically going to they're trying to take 2K and playgrounds and kind of mix it in. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but
as long as they do it right, because NBA Street, oh my god, that was. Whew.
But even if they don't like bring it back, just remaster Volume 2, NBA Street Volume 2. That's the only one I want. That was the best one. I had a huge debate with one of my boys about this because he claims that NBA Street was better than Volume 2. I'm like, you're crazy. Volume 2 was so much better.
I like them both for different reasons. I can see why.
Well, why is that?
I'm not sure because it's been first I played it, but like I just enjoyed like the music. I feel like Volume 2, I feel like you could do more on there with the moves and everything. But it was something about Street. I feel like it just brought it gave me that vibe. So I think that's why I like 1, 2. But I didn't like the second one.
Yeah,
1 and 2 were good. 3 was all right.
3 was because they threw that one contest in there. That was terrible.
Don't get me started on like that's basically like the Jeb Jam fighting games. First 2 were amazing, but the third one I was like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, I heard they might bring that one back too.
Don't make it like Icon. Please don't bring it like Icon.
No, I think they're gonna. I think what they're trying to do is just remaster and bring them back. But I did hear that there's a good chance they might bring Def Jam Vendetta back. But as far as like NBA Street, I put it like this, like pros and cons. The first one I liked the first one had a better announcer than the second one. Bobby don't want the second one. He was annoying as hell. But that first one, I liked him. Like he's like, only 2 minutes left, player. He was kind of like an old school pimp. I like that. The moves is a slip and slide, player.
You can't stop his airness. You can only hope to contain.
Right. So
that's why I like the first one, because I enjoy playing with Kobe and Michael and Jordan on. I think that's why I like the first one so much.
But even 2 had Kobe and Mike and all
it did. I think that's why I'm like, I gotta be in a mood. It's like basically like my Ready to Die in Life After Death. One minute I'm like, okay, I like this one. The next minute I'm like, oh, I like this one though. So it's like,
I got you. But yeah, pros and cons though. Announcer was better on NBA Street.
I love the
music on 2 was better. I ain't even gonna lie.
I love the music on that one, yeah.
Because Just Blaze, he bodied that whole entire soundtrack.
Just Blaze.
Definitely the moves and the combos were a lot better on 2. I think the game breakers to me were doper, especially with the music playing and stuff.
Right.
I think as far as like which one was more difficult, definitely NBA Street.
I didn't have trouble with that one.
You did?
No, I got on pretty quick.
I don't know. Like 2 was pretty simple. 1, it felt hard, especially like when you go up against Mike. Mike was hitting everything in 1. It's like you can
with him. I don't know why. Maybe because I had Dr. J. That's probably why I was doing so good.
Yeah, if you got like one of the tall players who can do everything, then yeah, it's pretty easy. But I don't know. I had a hard time with 1 versus like 2, where I kind of breezed right through that. NBA Ballers or N1. Oh,
I feel like I enjoyed NBA Balls a little bit more, even though I did like N1. But NBA Balls was good.
I gotta go N1. I don't know about
Ballers.
Ballers was okay, but N1, without a doubt, I'm picking between those 2. But yeah, so I mean that's the only reason I'm leaning towards NBA Street 2 versus and the first one. I mean again, the first one was great, nostalgic, all of that. But
especially like Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Like Terminator 1 was great, but then Terminator 2 came out. I was like, oh shoot, wait a minute, that just raised the bar.
Exactly. Even like with Aliens 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Aliens was great, but 2 just
it went up. Yep.
2 took it there. It definitely took it there.
For some reason, when they get to number 3, it just goes downhill. It's like, why can't y'all do a 3 right? Like, what?
3 was.
I mean, I like 3 for some reason. I don't know why I like 3.
Yeah, 3 wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. Resurrection was bad.
We don't count that. No.
Yeah. And Prometheus. We don't talk about those 2.
What are you talking about? Huh? What?
Prometheus.
Huh? What you talking about?
Prometheus.
I do not compute. What is that movie you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Huh?
Pinky said NBA Street Volume 1 had a better career mode.
That's another reason why I like Volume 1.
Yeah, it did.
The career mode was really good. That's how I was able to unlock everybody on there, because I was doing good on that one.
It definitely did. All right, so for anybody that's coming in, topic of conversation is retro video game consoles. We've just been going down memory lane, having some fun with it. So here are the questions. I'll just go ahead and recap for you guys before we get ready to wrap this up. First question is, what is your favorite retro video game console of all time? And if you had an opportunity to bring back any discontinued console, which one would it be? It can be more than one, too. So, second question is, are there any consoles that you would have loved to see form a merger? That's question 2. And then question 3, of course, is the Mount Rushmore and honorable mention for your favorite retro video game consoles and accessories. So there's all 3 questions.
Love NBA Jam. Boom shakalaka. Love NBA Jam.
Yeah, I heard they might bring that back. Well, actually, no, they kind of did with 2K Playgrounds. That was kind of like like a reborn version of
that one wasn't too bad. I remember you told me about that, and I actually played. I was like, "It's not that bad."
Yeah, that game was fun. I might have to
I remember you told me that one.
And play it again, like the Godfather trilogy. Exactly.
First 2 were amazing, and once that 3rd one came out, I was like,
yeah, they could have did without it. Bring back the Digimon. You know what? They did bring Digimon back.
Digital Monsters?
Yeah, they got a game on on the PlayStation 5. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, it's they brought Digimon back. Probably not the one you're talking about, but they have a game similar to it though. Where it says Sega Saturn. See, like Sega Saturn, wasn't that more like on the lines of like
that was more PlayStation and N64, so it was leaning more towards the 3D. So
yeah. Oh, Braun said Sega Saturn was horrible. You didn't like Sega Saturn?
I didn't really know really nobody that had one. Like honestly, I feel like everybody skipped over that to me because I didn't really hear about it. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't really nobody talk about it. And then I heard more people talk about more of the Dreamcast when it came out.
Yeah, Yeah, I think. Yeah, Sega Saturn. I mean, I liked it, but of course, to most, it was kind of like a failed project. And then that's when they resurged with Dreamcast, and then it was like, okay, like Sega's back. Even like with Jaguar, like I like Jaguar, but a lot of people weren't really.
See, I didn't know about Jaguar until I watched a video game. I didn't even know that Atari had more systems. Cause when they said Atari, I'm thinking the first one. I'm like, that's the only system they had. I'm like, oh, they had more. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
They definitely had it. I'm just thinking of now because I mean I kind of pretty much answered the questions and stuff. So if you guys want to answer the questions, you can definitely do so. I'm just thinking of some other like games that they should bring back. Pitfall.
There's way too many. Please bring back Dino Crisis. I'm wanting Dino Crisis remake so bad.
They did it on PS5.
No, I'm talking about a remake, not a remake, but like maybe a remake, or you said a remake or a sequel one. That's what I'm wanting. Like how like they did Resident Evil. They brought them back and remade them.
Oh, like a remake.
Yeah, remake like that.
Yeah, because they remastered it and brought it back, but they didn't remake it though. Because I
want them to remake it.
Oh, a remake.
Because just imagine them dinosaurs coming at you in like how Resident Evil look. Oh god, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah,
that would be terrifying. So I didn't want Dino Crisis to come back.
Word said I like the Saturn VR Cop was my ish. And Virtua Fighter, I hated Virtua Fighter. Oh,
I did bad on Virtua Fighter. So I could not play that game to save my life.
Virtua Fighter was, it was just a knockoff Tekken. I hated Virtua Fighter. Nothing about it I liked. They should make a modern Alter Beast. I think they're going to add that one to the new Mega Drive collection that they're coming out with. Because I was mentioning to everybody earlier, that they're remaking Shinobi, Golden Axe, the Streets of Rage 1 through 3. They're doing Power Stone. They're doing Jet Set Radio, and I think Alter Beast is going to be in there.
I can't wait for Jet Set.
Yeah, Jet Set's going to be crazy. I can't wait for that.
I'd like for another Wild Guns for some reason. I want another Wild Guns.
Yeah.
Wild Guns.
And Shinobi too. They're adding Shinobi to that. If I didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard they were making another game to that. Shinobi.
It's going to be on the Mega Collection. I don't know if you saw how it looked. It looks kind of.
I did see that one, but I think they were making like an actual, sequel to like Shinobi, like but like a sequel.
Yeah, they are. But the remastered one, I think.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, it looks.
It does look good. It does look good.
And so does Golden Axe. Golden Axe looks absolutely amazing. I'm like, all right,
I'll definitely be getting them.
Yeah, but they should definitely bring back Pitfall.
Pitfall's tough for me.
Cool Spot. I would love for them to bring that back. I would love for them to remake Gunstar Heroes or maybe a sequel or something. Gunstar Heroes was so slept on.
I'm trying to think some of the games I would rent. I'd be like, oh yeah, I would love to bring back.
He said Wild Guns was fire. Yeah,
it was. I love Wild Guns.
It definitely was. Oh snap! Pinky said honorable mention going to Blockbuster to rent games. Right.
I miss Blockbuster.
You and me both.
I got a funny story to tell you though about Blockbuster, and I will never forget myself for doing this.
What's that?
I remember going to Blockbuster one time and seeing Superman 64. Oh Jesus Christ, this was so bad. Yeah, you laugh because you know what I'm about to say. This is the time when I did not have no internet. I saw a commercial and I read a thing on GamePro like Superman 64. I was like, oh, this game looks dope. I saw it. I was like, this looks really good. I'm gonna try this. 10 minutes into that game, this is it. Rings. No. Can't play this game. No, I was so mad.
I know.
I was so pissed.
Because I played the first 5 minutes of it and I took it back. So I know.
Was so pissed.
That's why I'm laughing because I know.
I was so mad. I love telling that story though because I'm like, Superman 64, why did y'all make that game? That was such a bad, horrible game.
So bad. It was as bad as the Superman Returns movie.
Oh, yeah. We don't count that one either. We don't count that.
We skip over that. We just go right to Henry Cavill after Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, we don't count that. No.
I think he said I still got my Blockbusters Kid Prince tape. Dang.
I would not get rid of that. You better keep that. You better hold on to that.
Right. That's craziness.
I miss Blockbuster. I was like missing just the idea of going to freaking video stores and just looking and seeing, ooh, I want to rent this. Oh, I want to rent that. Like, oh, the game's not behind there, so I can't rent it.
Right.
The movie's not behind there, and I can't rent it.
Right. You know, they made a TV series about Blockbuster. It's a comedy. It's on Netflix. I think it's yes. I think I don't know how many seasons they have, but I know they got the first season. I think it's still on there because I know Netflix is like kind of swapping stuff out to make room for new stuff. But I watched it. It was pretty good. I was just like, dang, nostalgia. Because basically, long story short, all the other Blockbusters closed, and this is the only one left. So they're doing everything in their power to keep it afloat. But it's a really dope comedy. It's kind of like The Office with like meets like Seinfeld in a sense. It's kind of got that vibe. But it's pretty dope though.
I miss Blockbuster.
I do too. I was sad when I had to take Beavis and Butthead back. Yeah, I forgot about that game.
This game sucks.
Right. That game was fun, but it was just
so stupid. I played that game so many times. I'm like, why am I playing this game? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
This game sucks. Fire.
Right. Worse, I hated Blockbuster. Every time I went to the game I wanted was going, yeah, that's the only
that would annoy me.
Blockbuster. Especially when like you saw the commercial and they'd be like, oh, this game is out. Come get it, Blockbuster, you get it, gone.
I'm so mad. Like the reason why I would know they'd be gone, so they didn't have it behind the actual cassette, because they would have it in the Blockbuster cassette. So if it wasn't behind there, it wasn't there. I was like, motherfucker, are you kidding me?
Right. Because it's like, why they do that to us? It's like they're supposed to do it like this. You're supposed to be able to walk in, get the game that you want, go right up to the register, grab your box of candy, whichever ones they had. For me, I always had to make sure I had my game and Mike and Ike's on deck. That was my.
Oh, you said Mike and Ike's. I love Mike and Ike's. Oh yeah, I love Mike.
Yeah,
yes.
That was my combo meal. Having the game
Mike and Ike's
and my Mike and Ike's on deck, and one of the sodas out the machine. It's like that's the combo pack. If I didn't have that, I wasn't going to Blockbuster. So, oh man, I'm trying to think of some other games that I want to see them bring.
I'm thinking of some too.
They brought Flashback back. I know that sounded crazy.
I was just like, really? They did?
Yeah, Flashback. Yeah, they brought it back. What else do I want to see? I want to see them bring back Mick Kids. I don't know if y'all remember that or not.
I remember that one.
Mick Kids was that game. Oh,
See, Piggy, I would love going to the horror aisle. I would love going to the horror aisle and watching the horror movies. I'm just crazy like that. I love watching movies.
Oh yeah, exactly. I used to do the same thing because like especially when they show like the back of the covers of the horror movies and stuff like that, and they had all
bother me.
Yeah, especially Puppet Master. Ugh.
I must be crazy then, because that didn't bother me. I love going to the horror section.
Yeah, I mean, I closed my eyes, but of course, when I got back and watched the movies, like
I didn't close my eyes. I was like, "Ooh, horror movie."
Yeah,
ooh, Halloween. Ooh, Friday the 13th. Of course, my mom was like, "No, you too young for this. You ain't watching this."
Only when I was real young. As I got older, then I ain't closed my eyes and stuff. But yeah, as a kid, of course, parents were like, shield your eyes. Worse than what? Y'all weird Sour Patch Kids all day. We're not knocking Sour Patch Kids.
I love Sour Patch Kids, but Mike and Ike's is the go-to.
Mike and Ike's that's the OG right there. That's the
Mike and Ike's.
That's the Godfather. Again,
Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's gave birth to Sour Patches, so can't sleep on that because that was the main one. It was always Skittles. It was always Goobers. It was always
Starburst.
Yeah, Starburst, and it was always those gummy bear packs. I forgot. It had that little bear on there, like the one from the Care Bears and stuff. But yeah, those were the ones. The Blockbuster I went to always had that. They had Sour Patch, but actually no, the one I went to, because I'm from up north, Jersey, they had Sour Jacks, which was like the knockoff version of Sour Patch. But yeah, Mike and Ike's was that go-to though.
Love Mike and Ike's. I will never give up Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, Streets of Rage was the issue. Yes, it was. I don't know if you played the most recent one, 4 Word.
I have, and I beat it. Thank God. That game was tough.
It was. The Nightmare DLC, that was ridiculous.
No, I ain't going to talk about that one. I ain't going to talk about that one. We don't count that. I'm not talking about that one.
I count it, but I mean...
I do, but like, in regards to me losing my sanity playing that, I was like, I ain't playing. I'm done. I done already beat the game. I'm good. I don't need to play no more.
Right.
I'm good. Once I beat the game, I'm like, I'm good.
But yeah, they're remastering 1, 2, and 3, and they're bringing it to the Mega Drive. They could probably do without 3. I wasn't crazy about 3, but
first two. Again, what's up with these sequels? Where like the first two are the best ones. Then when the third one comes out, it's just.
I think because they get ahead of themselves. Like when they see how popular the first two do, I think they just kind of like think like, okay, the third is going to always kind of like be on point. It's kind of like with remember the old school Ninja Turtle, the VHS. Where they had
another one.
1 and 2 were good.
That third one came out, I was like, what?
Yeah, when they went to Japan, that's when it just got too silly. I mean, 2 was kind of silly, but
it was funny silly.
Yeah, but it was still good, except for they built up that whole anticipation with the Super Shredder. I thought they was gonna fight. I'm like, man, all he did was just push over the things. He pushed the thing over and basically like just offed himself. But I was just like, come on, man. That was my only issue with that. But seeing Toka and Razor and them fighting, I was like, that was pretty good though. But yeah, that third one, it was like too much silliness, not enough fighting. I was just like, yeah.
I was like, okay, you're losing me. That's how I went with Blade Trinity. I'm not a fan of Blade Trinity. The first two were amazing, but Blade Trinity, I was like,
yeah, Trinity was it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. The Blade 2 was fire. And
I love Blade 2.
Absolutely.
I swear, I feel like Blade and Blade 2 is basically like Aliens for me. Blade 1 was the horror movie, and then Blade 2 was more the action-packed one. That was me.
And then 3, I don't know.
I don't know where they're going with. I didn't know where they're going with 3. Or
yeah,
I feel like if they didn't have Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds, and I would have like, okay, cool. I would have been fine with it. But it was more them than it was him. So I was like, okay, they're losing me with this.
Yeah, that and Dracula screaming every 2 seconds, every action scene. I'm like, man, you stop yelling. Like, you're not even fighting yet. What are you screaming for? It drove me nuts. Pinky said I was pranked as a kid. Went to my race car bed and got a guide dolls on it. Wow. Yes, I remember Blockbuster in Capitol Plaza. Absolutely. He said, forget that. Mike and Ike, Sour Patch, and Yellow Mellow. Yellow Mellow was good. I'll give you that.
You know you cannot diss Mike and Ike's like that. Come on now. Bro.
Yeah, stop dissing Mike and Ike's. We not dissing Sour Patch. Sour Patch I love. But again, Mike and Ike was OG. Can't knock it. Now, with you on that word, Double Dragon was fire. I don't know if you've seen they brought it back. They remastered it, and it's absolutely amazing. But yeah, Double Dragon for sure. I think they're coming out with another one because that first one did really well. Yeah, without a doubt. He said Super Shredder was Kevin Nash. That was?
Yeah, well, yeah. I was surprised he didn't tear up. I know he didn't tear up a bicep like how he always does.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I remember that.
He's singing Go Ninja.
Go Ninja, go. All right, Vanilla Ice.
I ain't gonna lie. That was a good follow-up to Ice Ice Baby. I'll give him that. Triple H was horrible. He was on
Blade Trinity. Yeah, we ain't talking about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in Blade Trinity. I forgot about that.
Oh Lord, he's throwing up his set for Sour Patch Kids. Oh Lord, he gangbang. Oh Lord, he throwing up his set.
He's throwing up the SP.
I feel like me and you are like the ones that keep the peace with Mike and Ike's, and here he comes with the gangbanging stuff.
Right.
Like that movie Original Gangsters. Like we're like the like the original rebels, like the original.
Right.
Oh, that was great.
Oh man, that's great. That's too funny. But I'm trying to think of some other games. I can't.
They can bring this back. Yeah, right.
You don't think they should?
Hell no. Unless the control is good. Unless they fix the control, then maybe. But other than that,
I wouldn't mind them bringing Shaq Fu back. Killer Instinct. They got to bring that back.
Yeah, Killer Instinct. I'm surprised they. I mean, they did put it on Xbox One, but I don't know why they made another one to it.
Yeah, they got to add it to all the other ones. Clay Fighter. I need them to bring that.
That
back.
was a funny game to play. I enjoyed playing that one.
Yeah. The Simpsons side-scrolling arcade game to beat them.
I made another Simpsons game like that. That was really fun. I love the Simpsons.
That was one of the best. I'm like, why is this not getting more attention? You know, Final Fight got it. What was the other one they had?
Because it was only an arcade game. That's why. I bet it was so good on Super Nintendo or Genesis.
Would have. Even the X-Men game, the original with all 6 characters with Dazzler and Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops. That they should bring that back. And Predator side scrolling one. where you can play the cyborgs and then the 2 predators. Oh, that one with the staff. Oh, that was my favorite one. Oh, they need to.
I love Predator.
Yeah, they need to definitely bring that back. OG Ninja Turtles was the best of the trilogy, hands down. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We don't count the ones where it was like CGI. Like we don't count them.
You don't like those?
They were all right, but for some reason I enjoyed. I went back and watched the other ones. I was like, why did I enjoy these more than these? It was just,
the second one. It was okay. They kind of got silly with it, but I like that first CGI one because that fight was great.
The animated ones are amazing, though. They do good with the animated ones.
Oh, of course, without a question, without question. There was one other game I was thinking of that
I'm trying to figure some more myself.
I want to see them do remake Donkey Kong.
Oh yes, I love Donkey Kong, especially Donkey Kong Country. I love Donkey Kong Country. That was my go-to.
I didn't care for 3, and that's another one too. They did great with 1 and 2, and then 3 was like really like Kitty. Like I hated Kitty.
I didn't really play it as much as I did 1 and 2.
Yeah, 3 was.
It was okay. He was all right.
I always played with Dixie. I always found a way to start with Kitty and get him out the way, and then I just rock out with Dixie. Unless I needed Kitty on certain parts, then I would go and revive him. But the rest of the time, I would just rock out with Dixie. But 2 with Diddy and Dixie was.
Yeah, I always play with Diddy. Take that.
But Dixie got me through that game because that helicopter thing. It's like without that,
it helped.
Yeah, because Diddy, his whole thing.
She definitely helped on the second one. But for some reason, on the first game, I always played as Diddy because I was like, "You're quick," and I always get through the game quick.
Yeah, because Donkey was too slow. He was
good, but I was like, most of the time, I was doing better with Diddy. And then for some reason, on the second one, I was like, "Okay, Dixie's way, way better."
Absolutely. I think he said I still got the OG VHS tape with the Pizza Hut commercial. Yeah,
I wouldn't get rid of that either. I would not get rid of that.
I remember that. GoldenEye still got it. I think, Ken Odyssey
game.
Yeah, he mentioned GoldenEye earlier when he was in here. Yeah, they said that's another one they're also talking about bringing back.
Coming back.
Imagine GoldenEye online. What?
Man, it'd be so toxic. Compared to now, it'd be so toxic.
Call of Duty probably would just like I ain't gonna say it would like deteriorate, but yeah. I mean, GoldenEye would blow it out the water if they brought back. It would definitely kill like Call of Duty.
Games, yeah.
GoldenEye was it. Even the campaign was fire too. Like, oh man.
When I played the most was Everything or Nothing. That was my favorite one. I love GoldenEye, but Everything or Nothing was my favorite one.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That one was so good.
But yeah, we used to play GoldenEye heavy, especially with the golden gun.
Me and him used to play that all the time.
Get the golden gun. That was
of course he would always murder me because he would always have the golden gun. I'm like, you cheating, man. That is so not fair.
Right.
He be cheating. Like, get rid of that golden gun. We can have a fair one.
Yeah, exactly. Get like the one with the what's it called on there? The muzzle and stuff.
Yes.
I can't think of the name of it. I was about to say sniper, but that's not it.
I was about to say silencer.
The silencer, yeah, thank you. I can't think. I knew it was something with that. Like that one.
Yep.
That's
one. No, he had to use the golden gun every time. I'm like, really? This is so not fair.
Golden gun was a cheat code, without a doubt.
It was.
That's a cheat code. You know what else I would love to see them do? The WWF All-Star game from back in the day. That one was
oh my god, the arcade one, WrestleMania arcade. Oh my
god. WrestleMania
so fun.
All-Stars. That one.
I chose Undertaker, you was done for.
Yeah.
Undertaker, Yokozuna. You was
Yokozuna, Big Boss Man, Macho Man, Suppressor, thank you. I was trying to think of it. Silencer and Suppressor. I knew it was something like that. Getting Odd Job and hiding in the bathroom vent. Yep.
Oh, in your house. In your house. But yeah, WWF WrestleMania arcade one. Oh my god, I love that one. That was such a good game.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think. Earthworm Jim, they should bring that back.
I'm surprised they have. But then again, oh god, here we go again with the number 3. 1 and 2 were good, but then when they put it on N64, it just went downhill.
Right.
Just went down here. I was like, okay, you're not good on 3D. You just go back to second 2D, please.
Definitely
didn't work.
Even like Golden Axe, like 1 and 2 was actually okay. 3 was that first one though was the best.
Can't be the first one.
First one was nostalgic, but 2 and 3, I was just like, I think it's not really too many games, the trilogies that really were just top notch. Sonic was probably like one of the few, and Mario.
Well, to me, but even though this ain't retro, but to me, I feel like the trilogy to me was amazing was Uncharted. Even though I know it's not retro, but
yeah,
that's
Uncharted,
a trilogy.
Great trilogy from start to finish. Mario, the old school, that was a solid trilogy, and Sonic was a very solid trilogy because all three of those Sonic games were fire. Sonic 3 was probably, was Sonic 3 my favorite? I think it was.
I figured that would be your favorite one with Knuckles. Yeah,
because two was
cool.
Yeah, it was cool, but it was complicated, especially when you got to Death A, no rings. Of course, Metal Sonic was simple, but fighting Robotnik, oh my god! And you gotta hit that little you gotta hit that pouch, his gut and stuff, and it's those spikes right there. It's like, man, come on,
I expect me to hit this and not get hit myself. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, I finally learned the pattern of how to stop it, but it was just like that drove me nuts. Of course, the first Sonic wasn't bad. I just hated that final zone where Robotnik jumping those elevators. That was the only part that got on my nerves. Oh, and Labyrinth zone. I hated that level. God. I hate any water level on any retro game. Same thing with I love the music on the aquatic one on Donkey Kong.
Oh god. Oh, Sonny, that beat. Oh god, here I'm talking about Sonny again. Shout out to Sonny. That beat, I love that beat. Because I just love that music on them levels.
Oh yeah. I love the music.
So peaceful.
I just hate the level because of the enemies. The enemies drive me nuts on there. Even Mario, those water levels, I just can't stand them. I don't know.
It's so hard to avoid, and you really ain't got nothing to hit them with. So it's just like you just gotta avoid them.
Right. Those drove me nuts.
At least you had beautiful music to enjoy.
Oh yeah. The music always does it with any of those retro games. The soundtracks are always on point. But it's just those levels. I was almost started to ask this question too.
You should go ahead.
This will be a bonus one before we wrap up. Mount Rushmore of retro video game soundtracks.
Oh Lord, I gotta think. Oh my God, there's so many, bro.
Honorable mention, Indigenous. He said,
Now, are we talking about original music? Or are we talking about how how GTA has musical? Are we talking about retro? Are we talking about original
soundtracks? Whichever games you felt had the dopest soundtracks.
Definitely Donkey Kong Country. That was number one.
I'm agreeing with that. I'm with you on that.
I love the music on Tiny Toon Adventures Buster Bust Loose. I love the music on that one.
Ooh.
Really good music. Wild Guns, definitely. I love the music on Wild Guns.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm agreeing with Donkey Kong. I'm going Sonic. And I'm going Streets of Rage. Those three for sure.
I feel like I got a top 10. I ain't got no top 5. I got a top 10. There's so many I could think of.
Those three for sure. Donkey Kong, Sonic, and Streets of Rage.
I said Donkey Kong. I said Wild Guns. I said Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster Bust Loose.
Man, Tiny Toon Adventures.
The first two Mortal Kombat games, the music was amazing on them.
Oh yeah. I got to throw Street Fighter in there.
Street Fighter was good.
Because Street Fighter, Gao's level, Ken, Bison's level.
The music, the Mario Kart music on both Super Nintendo and N64 were amazing. I don't have a top 5. I got like a top 10. I got like a top 20 probably.
All right, you could do 10.
Oh God, okay. Hold on, I'm about to write this down. Okay, Donkey Kong Country. Okay. Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster Bust Loose, All Guns, Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. Love them.
Okay, that's 5.
Definitely both Mario Kart on N64 and Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God.
It's like Busta Rhymes. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God.
It really is because I'm thinking of, oh God. Man, the music on freaking Pac-Man World was amazing. Pac-Man World.
Okay.
I love Crash Bandicoot. I love the music on that one. Crash Bandicoot. Oh God, there's one more. Hold on, I gotta think of one more.
You got 9.
I gotta think of top. That's probably a top 20. Oh God, no. Hold on. Let me think.
Top 20. That's a lot.
It is because, like I said, I just love the sounds because it was so original, it was so dope. I'm just like, I listen to this all day, every day.
Yo,
I can honestly say the music. You probably never played this game. I can honestly say the music on the Page Master on Super Nintendo was amazing. So that's my top 10 right there.
I remember Page Master.
That was such a good game. I love the movie too. I don't care. I love the movie.
That's not bad. All right, I'm going Streets of Rage, Street Fighter, Donkey Kong,
Love Donkey Kong,
Sonic, and honorable mention. You know what? It's because again, I'm gonna make it a notable mention. I'll think of a retro one, but it's a notable mention, even though I don't consider it retro. But it's going to, of course, fall into retro.
Say I added it, so you might as well go ahead.
The soundtrack for Pandemonium.
Because I had Pac-Man World because that music was beautiful in that game. So yeah,
Pac-Man is retro, but Pandemonium is like I'm putting it as a notable mention. I won't put it as honorable one, but it's a notable one just because I love so many songs on those levels and stuff, especially that one that Sonny sampled for the Battle of Reeds, that drink spilling.
Yes.
If you go and hear the original, it's like, oh, I love that because you're in like the woods and stuff. That one is
okay.
fire.
He said like Lion King on Sega, so I'm gonna say my honorable mention is basically just Disney games. The music on there was just amazing.
Okay.
Aladdin and Lion King, even though I keep saying Lion King, it pissed me off, but I love the music on there.
It did. I gotta think of. Oh, you know what? This was kind of it under the radar. This will be my honorable mention.
I forgot about Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That music was good too. I forgot about that one.
Damn, Mike.
I forgot about that one.
Mike, I forgot about it. He just mentioned that too.
Because when I streamed that game, I was literally singing when I was playing that game.
Yeah. Oh,
I forgot about that one. Oh my god.
You know which one I gotta say? I'm gonna make that a notable mention. I love Mike. Honorable mention. I'm gonna say Kid Chameleon soundtrack. The Kid Chameleon soundtrack was fire. I like that one. Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna make Kid Chameleon a notable mention.
Man, this is a good bonus question.
Very good bonus. I might go with. Damn it. I gotta go. Super Mario.
I love Super Mario. The music on
Super Mario World. I gotta go Super Mario.
Man, I could do a top 20. I could probably do a top 30. Oh my god, the music.
20. You could do a 30.
I probably could. If I went and back on my games and looked at them, I'd probably be like, yep, music on here was good. Yep, music on here was good. Music on here was amazing. I could listen to that and be at peace. Like I don't even have to play the game. I could just like look up the music on YouTube and just be listening to it. Like Zelda, perfect example. Zelda Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. Music was beautiful.
Zelda did have heat. Damn.
See what I mean? I tell you, I could do a top 20 of music.
Damn it.
See what I mean? I could do like a top 20. I could probably do a top 30.
You probably could. I mean, if you got enough time.
I ain't got nothing but time. I ain't got to work tonight. I got nothing but time.
Where is it? Final Fantasy VII, the old school one?
Yeah, Final Fantasy music was good. Oh my god! Like I said, Crash Bandicoot was good. Even Spyro, the music was good on that one. Spyro had good music. Heck, even some of the WWF games had good music.
Oh yeah,
like No Mercy. I love No Mercy. I could play that all day, every day.
Yeah.
See, I'm not even gonna count the ones where they actually use like real music, like Road Rash or like GTA. I'm not counting those because I'm thinking about like original music, like they actually make themselves. So I'm not gonna count those.
Yeah, Shy. Yeah, my lady loves Zelda too, Shy. So Zelda is definitely up there. Soundtrack is fire too. Word said I played that game so much I still hear all the different songs. You, me both. Me both.
I do the same with like Donkey Kong Country and Pac-Man World. I could like have that as a soundtrack. I could just listen to it and I could be at peace.
Yeah, Sonic is probably at the top of my list when it comes to soundtracks because I'm just thinking from the first one, just the trilogy alone, especially Sonic 3. Because oh my god, you had Carnival Night that.
Damn, I'm about to. Oh Lord! Hey!
Come back! That beat, they did it. And then Sonic.
I forgot about Kingdom Hearts. That had a good soundtrack too. Kingdom Hearts 2. See, I'm telling you, I could legit go back and look at my games and be like, "Yep, soundtrack. Yep, good soundtrack. Yep, good soundtrack." So I couldn't do like just a 4. It'd be more. It'd be 20 or 30 if I really went back and looked at them. because Kingdom Hearts had amazing music.
Yeah, Pokemon soundtrack was crazy too. Oh, Skate or Die, they did have a crazy soundtrack. They did. Said Sonic, Kingdom Hearts, and Mario Kart. NBA Street, that soundtrack was crazy too. That soundtrack made me want to like spit some bars. I'm like, yo, Just Blaze is killing these beats,
Just
right?
Blaze.
But yeah, I gotta say Sonic. I gotta say Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Country 2 specifically. Because those beats on there, the mining beat, what was the other one that was crazy on there?
I like the one where it's like it's like a carnival one, but it's like you're like racing.
That car, yeah, that one was nice. Yeah,
like that one. That one was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Sonic's at the top of the list.
But I gotta put my top one is definitely that the aqua one, the water one.
Oh yeah, that music's so relaxing.
It's so beautiful. Love that one.
Vibrant. Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage without a doubt. Because man, it's like you hear those beats. It's so eclectic, just from start to finish. Like, oh man.
And don't get me started on Michael Jackson's Moonwalk, because I was literally singing every song every time he played. I'm like, I know I'm getting copyright, but I don't care. I'm singing this. I'm singing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Def Jam fighting game. I never heard it.
Or Fight for New York.
Yeah, I never heard the soundtrack on there, but I'm pretty sure it's dope. That's Def Jam. I mean,
you can't go wrong with Def Jam,
without a doubt.
I told you you could do like a top 20. You can't do just 4. It's like Pringles. You can't do just 1.
You're right. But that's why I like to challenge people to see.
Right.
Can they really narrow it down to just these specific ones? But
can I count the intro to the PlayStation 1 to the dun, 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 dun. I won't count that one too. I love the intro.
You could definitely do so.
I count that one. I can count the PS2 one.
He said the PlayStation.
I can count the Game Boy one. Dun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you can't forget the Sega.
Yeah,
I sing that every time. Sega.
Tyler, the creator, he just did a video game and he's using the Sega rendition. So he's got Tyler. Ooh. Look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. Ooh.
It looks dope, and it's a retro game, and it's kind of like, yeah.
I know Tyler, he's gonna have that game all over the place.
And he's got all the different, like the characters that he dresses up as throughout all his.
Oh my god,
it looks really dope.
I like Tyler the Creator. He's so dope.
Oh yeah,
he's so crazy though. I like watching him. I like listening to his music.
Definitely. PlayStation 4 dashboard has that therapeutic beat you could just listen to all day.
It does.
Yep.
I think that's why I like listening to that intro to the PlayStation 1. It just made me feel alive. Dun, 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 dun. I just love that. It's like I feel good to be alive right now.
Exactly. X-Men 2 Clone Wars had a dope soundtrack. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I'm playing it in my head, their soundtrack was pretty dope.
Oh my god, we forgot to add Tekken to the soundtrack too, because they have some good music too. How can we forget Tekken?
I just don't. I'm gonna put it as a notable mention just because I don't consider Tekken retro, but
I know, but like soundtracks though.
Yeah, Tekken soundtrack is nuts.
I told you, man. You can do like a top 20 or 30, man.
Yeah. Oh, Tekken. Yeah. That sounds.
I was trying to avoid Tekken, but I was like, no, I gotta add Tekken to this because Tekken.
Yeah, especially Tekken Tag and Tekken 3. Those soundtracks.
Resident Evil, they scared the crap. The soundtrack scared the crap out of me.
They did. They didn't really have too many.
It was just more like scary.
Yeah. Honestly, the best beat on there is the save room from Code Veronica. I love that save room music. That was another one that Sonny did.
Yep. So he did that beat. I was like, I know you could turn a Resident Evil beat and make it like that.
That was classic.
Ooh, I got an idea for him now. I wonder if he could do the beat from, I think it was Resident Evil 4, where it goes dun 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 dun. Oh, I bet if he could do a beat like that, that'd be dope.
He probably.
I think that was from Resident Evil 4 when you save the game and it plays that music. Ooh, I'm about to send him that.
The save room one, right?
Yes, from Resident Evil 4.
It sounds like that whistling sound.
Yes, I'm about to send him that.
He probably could because he likes to grab like little chops and stuff. Little like
I'm going to have to send him that.
He might rock to that. I think he'll like that.
I'm going to send him that.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't forget that because I'm going to send him that one.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely send you a reminder. But yeah, ladies and gents, this has been a fun.
We can go all day on this. Yeah, I told you we can go all day on this one.
I don't want to keep everybody. I don't want to keep you. I know you guys got things to do.
I ain't got nothing to do. I don't care. This is fun. I don't care.
I know I do because I got to start getting my research ready for these next two. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed this one. This was a dope one. Get ready for episode 29. That's actually going to be about rap and hip hop duos. Because I was just reading an article about, like the resurgence of like a lot of these artists that are starting to kind of form duos and stuff and do collaborations. So I was reading it because I'm not crazy about today's generation of music, but I just we don't. But I'm just kind of going back in the day of all the duos I remember from back in the day. Hip hop, even the rap and producer duos too. So we're gonna kind of stroll down memory lane with that one.
That's gonna be a good one because all I'm thinking about is Neptunes and and who else? So many, yeah. Neptunes is my top ones.
There's tons, so we gonna go all the way back. Yep.
Ghostface Killer. Yep.
So hold all your Mount Rushmore list and hold all the people that you got in mind, all the duos and stuff. Save the date for this one. This one is going to be on January 19th, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll actually go ahead and drop.
See, they already started with the list. I'm like, oh, yep, Outcast.
I know. So there's the link for it right there. So go ahead and click on that, y'all. Set y'all notifications. Share it out. Spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It's going down. War, my gaming homie. Appreciate you coming up.
We might do a part 2 to this because we was having so much fun with this one.
Yeah, I just got to think of what other questions I would even ask. Because I mean, I'm kind of
like the top, companies because there were so many different companies, who made the best, games from that,
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Let's do a Mount Rushmore of that real quickly. Let's do gaming companies real quick. Retro gaming companies. Who y'all got? I got Capcom.
I was going to say Capcom.
I got Konami. I got Activision. And I have
I like Rockstar. Rockstar was good.
Rockstar.
But they're more new though, so I can't really count them. They're not really retro, so I can't really count them.
Yeah, because that's more up to date.
Because I'm thinking more GTA, Bully, Red Dead, so I can't really count them. So
yeah, you know what? Honorable mention. I got to say Neo Geo.
Because they did have some bomber games. I wish they weren't so freaking expensive though.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say those are the 5 for me.
I can count those.
Capcom, those 2 sit at the top. Namco, Capcom, Konami, Activision, and Neo Geo.
Those are mine because it's really ones I could really think of that were like the main ones from back in the day. I was like, yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah, I would have said Insomniac, but they're more like 3D and stuff.
We could say LJN. Yeah, right. No. That's a horrible mention right there, LJN.
Right.
Beautiful Rainbow. We ain't counting LJN. We ain't counting LJN.
Yeah, can't count that one. And I was going to say, I was going to say Naughty Dog, but that's only. Yeah, I don't know.
See, you're saying we're not retro, so I'm thinking, Crash Bandicoot was retro, so that, yeah.
Yeah, notable mention for Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Naughty Dog is amazing. I love Naughty Dog.
Yeah, notable mention. But those other ones, yeah, definitely, because I remember those like the back of my hand and stuff like that for sure.
Same.
Oh, you know what? That's another game. Even though it was difficult as hell, I wouldn't mind seeing them bring it back. Spider-Man: Maximum Carnage.
I didn't have trouble with that one. I mean, it was difficult, but I never really had much problem playing that one.
Man, look, man, you try to fight.
It was tough though, but yeah, I don't remember having that much trouble with it. I mean, if I played it now, I'd be like, I can't play this. This is tough. What?
That scene, that fight with Demo Goblin, where you hitting him and he's hitting you, you basically just like trading punches back and forth. Oh my god, I hated that fight. Even fighting Carnage was just.
We ain't gonna talk about that one.
Yeah, and honestly, those had to be the toughest bosses out of any Spider-Man game because Doppelganger, he was tough.
He was annoying.
You had to keep a distance from him. Shriek wasn't too bad. Carrion wasn't too bad, but Doppelganger, Demo Goblin, and Carnage, those three fights right there. Frustration.
RP to your controller, you probably threw it in your on the TV.
I still have yet to throw a controller or break one. I've had controllers, act up, but yeah, I have yet to actually throw one. Sony made good games too. They did.
They did. So that's honorable mention.
Yeah, I will put that as notable mention for sure. But yeah, so yeah, definitely again, mark y'all calendars. Sunday, January 19th. Rap and hip hop duos is going to be the next one.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, we're going to have a ball with that one. Definitely going to go back. I see everybody's already mentioned it. People, y'all saying Outkast, Ghostface, Raekwon, Purple Tape.
Yep.
Yeah. Save it for the 19th. Save it for the 19th. So.
No, we want to share it now. We don't want to forget.
Yeah, I'll drop the link one more time so that you guys have it. So yeah, definitely click that link for sure. Again, appreciate you coming up, rocking out. This is fun. I got more debates to go. And then I'm going to kick things off with the tag team tournament, too, for the Battle of the Beats portion of the debate table. That's definitely going to be really good. Got some vets, got some newcomers. So you guys like that first tag team tournament, you guys are definitely going to love this next one for sure. But, yeah, truly appreciate it. I'm going to let you step down and do your thing. Y'all make sure y'all check out my boy Warriors 423.
I'm garbage. Don't check me out.
No, check him out. He's like he says, his rage is your entertainment.
I'm horrible. Don't take me out. I'm garbage. I'm duty booty.
That's a duty booty. Wow.
I'm saying a booty booty. I'm sorry. I had to do that.
Nah, it's all good. Yeah, appreciate you coming up, big homie.
It was definitely fun.
Definitely see you on the next one. Start thinking of your list of your duos for this next episode if you want to come through.
I am.
If you can. Yes, sir.
Because like I said, Neptunes is up there. Outkast is up there. Yeah, let me just go ahead and stop because I already know there's some. Yeah, let me go ahead and stop. Let me stop.
Yeah, it's and I've already started putting the questions together, so I definitely got a couple of Mount Rushmores for that one. So it's gonna be good, y'all.
We're going to stop.
Yes, sir. All right, my guy. I will holler at you.
Peace.
Peace. All right, everybody. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. Anytime I go live, come through, kick your feet up, relax. My home is your home. You guys already know what it is. And remember the 4 beautiful things that make this world go round: peace, love, positivity, and prosperity, always. So until next time, ladies and gents, it's your boy signing off. This has been another episode of my podcast, The Debate Table. Much love, peace, and I'm gone.